Welcome everybody. I am your host Kushari here this evening. Joining us today is Penguin on the analyst desk, and today is the path to NA, let's say, and it's the regional finals, and it's a pretty exciting and hyped up day we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, especially that this day everybody's waiting to see who's going to be qualifying for the CFS. Even me, when I was a player, these days was the most important days that I ever dream of when I'm playing, because this is the day that qualifies me to the CFS.
It's probably more important in some ways than the actual elite league, if you want to call it that, you know. So there's a lot at stake. There's a lot of, how can you say, ambition towards these young people who want to actually achieve something in their life when it comes to CrossFire and the career of esports. And I respect that, you know. Some people might look at it and they're not doing what they're supposed to be regularly doing, but nonetheless it is now considered a professional career, and it's something that these people have excelled at, especially the players we're gonna see today.
Yeah, because it's not only about you are playing your favorite game, but also you are qualifying, going to the one of the best tournaments, if not the best among the year for CrossFire. You want to be showing yourself to the other teams and regions as well. So you want to be the hard work for you the whole year just pays off in the next 2 days for the NA.
Yeah, and so the next about 48 hours is going to be life-changing for some of these players, teams, organizations, whatever you want to call it. And next, I'd like to look at the brackets, just so we have an idea. For those of you who weren't tuned in the last couple of weeks, we've basically reached the... You know, Swamp Gaming is against Supreme Stars today. Top Rank is against EZMoney. And as you can see, explain a bit more to us, Penguin. What do you think is happening here?
Well, Swamp Gaming definitely the #1 contender of the NA and the best team right now.
Upper bracket,
in North America, because they have Famous, they have Guys, Famous, Guys, Snox, Josh, everybody. So now they want to be fighting versus Supreme Stars. And I want to mention that Supreme Stars, they have Brando. Brando was the IGL of Swamp Gaming last year. That's first. Second, they have also Imagine, one of the best players in the North American region. And they have Gold, they have LSN, they have EU. So all the players that Supreme Stars have, or Supreme, they are very, very strong players. So not everyone knows these players, but still you cannot underestimate such a team. Yes, when Swamp Gaming is playing, everybody favors Swamp Gaming. Beating
the Goliath. They're the Goliath in the room. They're the toughest component you might run into in one of these competitions.
Exactly, because you would be looking to beat Swamp Gaming. That's when you really have a chance to go to the CFS. But you have to cross this guy in the middle. You have to cross Famous, one of the best players in the world. He's going to be leading his team, Swamp Gaming, as we can see. Josh, Snox, Famous, HDZ, and Kai's. The roster that's been led in-game by HZZ, the newest addition, which is Snox to the team, with Kai's and Famous, the deadly dude. They've been playing together, I guess, for like 6-7 years. So it's very, very promising team.
Yeah, I mean, to beat that and to find gaps where Swamp Gaming would potentially throw rounds or throw a game in general is kind of, it seems impossible. But then again, I always come back to the psychological factor, where you look at how teams are. Supreme Stars is not a bad roster. You have plenty of talent to go around. And I think, just not looking at stats, but yeah, maybe Famous and them are strong, but nonetheless, Supreme Stars are gonna give them one hell of a challenge, because they're here in the regional finals for a reason.
Well, looking at the names themselves, LSN, this is a very, very experienced players. Of course, we have the key players right now. Kai is definitely one of the best players in Swamp Gaming and the best snipers in West League, also in North American League as well, I mean North American region as well. And we have Gold. He has top 14 KD, which is actually not bad to be matching Kai's.
Overall,
but they need to step up, because they're going to be facing Kai's, Famous, and everybody from Swamp Gaming, who's actually every time when it comes to the North American region qualifiers, they pop off very, very good. And even though last year we've seen them that they are playing, and by the way, they lost in the upper bracket Swamp Gaming last year, and then they went to the lower bracket. They came up again to the grand final and beating their opponents 3-0 in a comeback for the loss. So Swamp Gaming, yes, they are favored, but they still Supreme Stars can do, because they have Brando as well. And Brando, as I told you, he was the IGL of Swamp Gaming. So he knows and he understands how Swamp Gaming is going to be playing as well.
They have an inside man.
And they have LSN, experienced player, Gold, one of the best players as well. So we will be seeing a very good match. For the guys who are saying it's going to be one-sided Swamp Gaming, yes, it can be Swamp Gaming beating Supreme Stars, but it's not going to be a one-sided Swamp game. We wish we can see a fight, because these names can do it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had money, I would probably put on Swamp Gaming, but it's not a matter of money or betting. It's a matter of who can play at this level back to the point today. So, right, there's a lot of psychological factors. If you've ate well, you've slept well, you've scrimmed enough, you've practiced enough, you've studied your opponents, you understand what they do on certain maps to avoid certain in the map draft, ban those, keep those, we can challenge them here, we can challenge them there, and so on, you know. So all these factors and elements play into this one key moment.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what Swamp Gaming is usually doing. That's what HZZ is actually doing, that he studies the enemy team. He checks how they play this map.
Who's the aggressive one,
how they play this map. Are they good in this map? Which side they are weak on? So he needs to be working on these things versus Supreme, because the guys are still, as I said, they are very promising. So as I'm saying, that Swamp Gaming, yes, they are favored, but still Supreme Stars, I'm looking forward for a fight from them.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious, what do you think are the maps of choice here? Because there's not that many options, but nonetheless, we might be seeing maybe New Mexico or New Compound. Who knows? So we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, Swamp Gaming, they play those maps, but definitely Swamp Gaming loves Black Widow, for example. Compound is one of the best maps, by the way. Even in the West League, they used to win Compound, so I'm pretty sure that it's going to be... Compound, Black Widow, they play sometimes also Subbase, so Famous is very good on it on Subbase, so they would be definitely going around these maps.
Yeah, all right. I'd like to actually look at the maps to get an idea, because something kind of tells me that if Supreme Stars want to make something out of this series here, they have to do something scary, you know?
Yeah, as you said, if they really want to beat Swamp Gaming, they have to ban New Compound, because it's one of their best maps. And they pick Fort versus Swamp Gaming, which is actually, I didn't mention that Swamp Gaming is not good.
It's a weak side. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a weak side. It's one average map for Swamp Gaming, but as I said, Subway is one of their best maps. They pick it and instantly pick Black Widow by Supreme Stars, which actually makes me a bit worried for the guys, because Swamp Gaming is very good for Black Widow. And then we have Eagle Eye on the decider, because Ankara is not played by Swamp Gaming at all. These guys just tries to ban this map.
Swamp is global risk as well, so there's a lot that's going to be going on in these next, hopefully, 3 games. I don't want to see a 2-0, and I'm sure Supreme Stars don't either, and Swamp do. So there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to who's the superior, who's going to actually win this, and stuff like that. But I honestly see this matchup relatively equal on certain scales. You know, you cannot just, it's a team game. You can't look at 1 or even 2 players and say these are the guys who are going to secure the victory. It has happened, but that doesn't mean it's factual, you know?
Well, as you said, they're going to be playing Port, for example, right now. So you cannot rely on 1 or 2 guys, because it's very, very hard map for you to play on the blacklist side. So Supreme Stars, they're going to be having a very, very big mission for them to beat Swamp Gaming on the global side on Port. In order to go to global side while having an advantage, or not even an advantage, we're saying
equal at
4-5 is
4-5,
yeah, 4-5 is not bad. 3-6 is actually fair, but 2-7, 1-8, this is going to be so hard for them to come back from, because Swamp Gaming, they're starting on one of the strongest side on Port, and they have some good strategies on how to control Barn, how to do the Q smokes and rotate around the A side. Kais is very good on A top hold, and he's one of the best players, and we've seen him have 2.5 KD, so this guy you want to be avoiding.
And someone like Famous, so once you get the bar rolling or whatever, Famous is the kind of player, if he's winning rounds, he won't just win the next ones. No, he starts getting better. His gameplay, his confidence, everything starts coming up. He pulls out a random gun we've never seen in competitive play and gets kills with it. So you actually don't know what's going to happen. Because let's say game 1 goes to Swamp Gaming, then there's always that mental pressure. And
on Supreme Stars, definitely.
You can't really unload it. And no matter how good of a player you are, I've seen this. And it can cause a lot of disturbance. But nonetheless, they are professionals, and I feel like you said, if it's a 6-3, 5-4 or something like that, there's still a chance, of course, with all due respect. But if it goes to like the 7s and 8s and stuff, then you're just signing.
You're doomed, because you're gonna be playing Subbase, and definitely Subbase is gonna be a hella map for you, because you have to face Famous on it down, Kais on Woods, HZZ on Woods as well. These guys are just locking down the A side completely, which is the split and the direct pushes to A side. So you have to go to B side where Josh and Snox
The
are
anchors,
there
yeah.
on Dark. One of the best players that plays this angle even before joining Swamp when he was playing for GV. So it's going to be a very, very big trouble for them if they go to sub-base while they are down on port. But let's talk about port now. I'm saying that you have to avoid Kai's on A top, but Kai's as well is backed up by Famous. So if you kill Kai's, you're going to be facing Famous on Cubby. This guy just drops bombs on Kai's and with Kai's on A sides. So
literally.
Yeah, because whenever you're pushing, you try to kill Kai's. Okay, we killed Kai's. You have to face Famous. We killed Famous. It's going to be only one guy left, probably. So it's very hard for them. So they have to go for B-side control, which is one of the hardest things to do on port because of the smokes and everything.
And I kind of feel like gameplay here, or sorry, teamwork here is very relevant. So, these guys have been playing for a while together, to say the least. Even a member of Swamp Gaming, their IGL is now in Supreme and stuff like that. So to me, this is actually gonna go down to the individual skill, like the clutches, the moments that really matter, where if you fumble it, you lose an entire round. And if that plus 5 players do that once, that's 5 rounds, and vice versa. If one player could secure a round and the other 4 get 1 round, then you've kind of won the game at that point, right?
Yeah, when you're talking about such things, you're gonna be mentioning Famous because he's the one who's just turning the rounds in his favor, and also Kai's as well. The experience that they have.
Like 2v5s, 2v4s, and it's fine. And it's like as if he has an entire team with him.
He knows so easy.
He knows where the players are. He's always, if you pay attention now on his cursor, right? A lot of times and moments, the player that he's going or got signaled that there's an enemy player there, his cursor is actually moving with him. It's not facing forward. He's just like waiting until he's in his line of sight and just executes him. So I don't know, like it's kind of up and down and emotional for me when it comes to this, because deep down, I like Famous, I like Swamp Gaming, but nonetheless, Supreme they've done their work. They've done their work to get here, and it showed in the previous games.
Yeah, and we've seen also the KDs of the players. 2.14, I guess, for gold.
Very impressive.
The rest is just 1 point KD. That means that no one is negative. No one is underperforming. Everybody's just shooting and killing people in the regional finals. So now it's the real test versus Swamp Gaming and versus Famous and his roster, because these guys, if you beat them, you get a lot of confidence. This pushes you so much forward than you ever expected. And that's what we're looking for now from Supreme Stars. They're going to be starting on the hard map, on a hard side on the map.
But if they can push through.
Exactly. You start on the hardest side, you are fresh, your mental is just good, so you can handle this pressure. But when it goes on more and more rounds, the pressure is going to be on you, not on Swamp Gaming, because Swamp Gaming experience can just relieve this pressure and just play normally whenever they can. So you need to be pressuring them to the neck from the start of the game and just putting the fights, as you said, try to win the clutches, try to get the fights. Do not be like kind of you're afraid of taking the fight. Just take the fight. Go on,
win or lose. It's
go
better
trade
than
yourself.
It's better than not doing it.
Because I remember one of the problems that maybe Swamp Gaming faced, that sometimes they didn't take so much fights before. So
very strategic players.
And they lost because of this. So if Supreme Stars, and Brando, of course, he knows this weakness point that sometimes Swamp Gaming, they don't want to be taking the fights. So go and take the fights. They will lose. They will lose these fights. You will get the trades. You will win. You will destroy the momentum. So that's how you should be doing it now.
But challenge them.
But if you're trying to, I don't want to be fighting Famous. I don't want to be fighting Kai's. Oh my God, HZZ is here. If you're going to be doing like this, then you're not going to go anywhere.
It's a concept. Whoever is more aggressive has a higher chance and probability of winning. Of winning the game, simply because, it's a strategy game. It's actual crossfire. But nonetheless, the players, you all have the skill set to secure rounds and to get clutches. And we've seen every single player more than capable of doing that. It's just a matter of, are you instructed to do that, or are you told lay low, chill, wait for them to peak, wait for them to push? Exactly.
Sometimes you need to mix,
you need like the thin line between this and
both.
That, exactly.
But just saying without doing anything, which is I'm very, very scared of Supreme Stars doing this at the beginning of the game.
Rushing.
If they're not doing anything, if they're not trying to take controls, if they're not trying to contest them in mid or just try to pick it up,
some picks,
try to pick it up versus Kai's, because simply if you're going to be pushing 5v5 on port versus the global risk have a big advantage versus you. So
the positioning and stuff matters.
So you don't want to be going 5v5. You want to be getting a pick, maybe damaging somebody. Just just let him back off from Barnum BC control. Try to use your utility good in taking Barnum BC control.
Misinformation, stuff like that.
So by this you can get yourself an advantage, so you can push sides. But putting as your team as 5 and just going as a side, I don't think it's going to be working with Swamp Gaming.
What about this question? All bias and favor aside, what do you think the scoreline is going to be? Mine, I think it's going to be 2-1 for Swamp Gaming. It's going to be round 1 for Swamp, round 2 for Supreme Stars, and maybe round 3 probably might go to Swamp Gaming. But there's a lot of things like I have to break down to reach that conclusion.
Well, because we've seen, I guess, the first map is going to be, as we see, Port, and the second is going to be Subbase. So I think because of the maps, and because especially that you picked Port, I know that you're good on Port, you're very good on Port, but you're starting as Blacklist. So I think maybe Swamp Gaming has the favor on this map, and if they won the first map, definitely they're going to be beating them on Subbase, because HDZ is so annoying on Subbase.
We've seen it, I've seen it, I've witnessed it live while I was hosting, and it's phenomenal. Like, the stuff some of these players can do is beyond the average person, you know, and I like that, you know, I respect that a lot, because in order to reach that level of skill, it's not like a few hundred hours. This is like
this is
10 year plus into it, with at least 6 hours a day going through to Crossfire, and I like that, you know. There's no harm in that, to be honest, because if it's a game you enjoy and you want to get the results, the perseverance always pays off.
Yeah, and if you're talking about experience and years, then we have to mention that Swamp Gaming had the edge because of famous
that was
10
kind
years,
of the factors.
10 years, the guy went from the first CFS and he popped off in every game that he played. He's one of the best players, ranked always S tier in the CFS tournaments, no matter what his team is just placed. If they're placed last or before the last or just 12th, 14th team, he just places on this S tier.
He stomps on his own.
Kai's as well, sometimes on S, sometimes on A+, and he's very good in leading his teammates and also putting his teammate in a lead. What I mean by putting his teammates on a lead, that he usually picks off some players, right, to goes for aggressive picks. He turns around into his favor. For example, that is 2v4 and it's so hard for them, then suddenly guys out of nowhere double kills somebody.
Gets a pick, then a 2v1, then a 2v2.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the experience that we're talking about for Swamp Gaming.
Yeah, and my advice, if any of the players could hear me, is just patience, you know, just be patient in these plays. Don't underestimate your opponent with regards to whoever you're facing for both series. That is because I've seen a lot of not fumbles, but a lot of times if you get a kill in the first round, then you get another, and then instead of going back to your team, you like,
just lose
it's 5v3, like I'm gonna win this alone.
It's a thin line between the win and lose,
and then your team fumbles and so on, you know. So it's always small wins, right? I've noticed in Crossfire, even a flashbang, a little grenade, something
just
like
can
that
win you around.
Can win you around, exactly. Other than the individual skill. So this is important. I've seen a pattern where the most elite teams are either doing two things. One, for example, Rock pushes in, like before the countdown is done, they've already planted and they're waiting.
Super aggressive.
Vice versa, for example, the old Unnights, you would say would be, or Inner Circle, now they're very patient. Like they wouldn't even make a move until like the last 30-40 seconds. Sometimes, of course, it's mixing it up, right? You have to get into the player's head, and in order to do that, they can never read your steps, or you do the same thing twice. You know,
every team, they have their own style, and,
of course,
and we've seen such styles on the West League. So that's why we are saying that Swamp Gaming had an edge, because they played versus old styles. They played versus Rocky Sports, the hardness and the aggressiveness, and they played maybe versus Anubis as well, some random peaks out of nowhere. Sneakiness from Dipsy. He just pops off and kills 2-3.
He's chilling in vents.
Exactly. Maybe Sad as well. That's also a style. You're relying on your individual skills. You have one of the best players, of course. Dipsy sometimes goes for a picks. So this is also a style. And then you faced versus Inner Circle, the team that is always patient and trying to play together as a team.
All right, let's go. We're ready for game one. Without further ado, I'd like to send it to our casters and colleagues, Travis and Pandoxin, please.
Thank you to the boys on the desk. Nice to see you two once again. Of course, we are back for more CFS action in the qualifiers in North America. And usually, the normal result is that Swamp sweeps it and gets himself through to that one spot available in the big boy tournament in December. Pandoxin, surely that'll be where we go again here.
Yes, maybe. I mean, there's a lot to consider, but right now, of course, you have to give Swamp somewhat the upper hand, right? But obviously, I'm very, very excited for the first matchup here, especially with the maps we have coming up. Of course, Port being the first one, and then Subbase. So both maps that I really much like. So yeah, into the game now, and we'll see what the first move is. And it seems like we're not wasting any time.
Indeed, and yes, I think that's one of the most fun aspects, I think, of this matchup, is just the fact that Brando did used to play, of course, with this Swamp Gaming team, and was such a big part of them for a while. While you may have the ideas and maybe some of the strats from days gone by when you used to be in that team, some insider information, it all really just comes down to who hits harder, and Swamp should be hitting harder, but this first round, it's going okay for Supreme. They managed to get a couple of openings, but in comes HTZ, in comes Snox. Taking a while, though, for HTZ to get that second kill. It's not going to happen. Brendo's got 2 in this round, and it's down to a Josh clutch.
Josh now, 1 versus 2, very winnable, but of course, Imagine and his buddy LSN have something to say about this. No one really hits a shot just yet, but Imagine on, of course, LSN will get the job done. Very, very interesting first round. I mean, Kais had no chance to react whatsoever. He was going down pretty fast there. So, yeah, it seems like we are here to watch a very interesting game. Swamp, of course, somewhat the the favorite team here, but still, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. And we'll see this time around. Again, we see some mid pressure coming up from Sub. How you call this team? SUP or Sub? I don't know. I will call it Sub. So we'll see. Right now, once again, mid pressure is coming through. Flashes are being prepared. Here comes the pop flash into BC. Doesn't really matter. Snox fully blinded by the lights. They will just pass him though. Tyson, of course, Snox, he will find 1. But look at that. The response is great. Josh good for 2 though.
Yeah, you'd think that'd be enough. He's done very well there. It's going to be very hard in a 2 versus 4 for Brando and EU. Recover this one. They have got, obviously, the advantage of being on the site, but it's the numbers advantage which should really be painful, and all the flashes coming through is going to be too much for them to handle. It's a good retake. Snox and Famous will figure it out, and that'll be an immediate hit back. 1-1 to start off this game. I think Supreme Stars, obviously, I mean, that we do know they have talent on the team. We do know that they've done well to get here, but it's been a pattern, hasn't it, for all these CFS championships over the years. Swamp are the North American representatives. We'll see if that'll be the case once again. They don't win it today. They'll have to win it tomorrow. They also can't lose it today, because if Swamp do somehow lose, they will go into the lower bracket. We shall see.
Yes, indeed. So this time around, a much slower approach coming up. No one really has gone down just yet. And yeah, Swamp Gaming, of course, they also, they don't really go for anything just yet. Usually what happens, what I love to see is, when Kais does Kais things, whenever he kind of just drops down from A top, goes to mid, finds one, goes back to A top, right? So he's very mobile here and there. But this time around, it's going to be HTZ in mid, trying to see what he can see. He's just going to stay there for a minute. I love these weapon changes, right? So the M14 comes into play, and this gun's just so strong, let me tell you guys.
Yeah.
It basically replaced the M4, right? And this gun has basically next to no recoil and 100% wallbang, fast reload. So this gun is just crazy. But we'll see if it has any impact here as well. As we can see, a little bit of an B setup is being made here.
I saw the M14 creep into the meta during the CFWL last season, right, when the big weapon change update came through. But yeah, obviously a few more changes since then. It's gotten even better, and it's kind of the weapon of choice for many right now. Famous still loves his Scar, of course. That has been his for year upon year. Snox will only get 1 on that site hold, though. EU's done really well to find 2, and it's all falling apart for Swamp. It's a great take for Supreme Stars there. They took their time, they went together, and it worked out for them. The trades weren't even trades. They were straight up entries with no response from Swamp at all.
Yeah, beautifully done here. It looked like perfection almost. I mean, for a second there, I thought, okay, Swamp, they have an idea about this, but they kind of got roller coaster here. And yeah, 2 really good rounds here, of course. I mean, Supreme Stars are really really shining to me right now. Obviously, you know some of these players in the lineup, right? But still, you would give them, so you have to give them some slack, right? Because it's just very hard to fight against Swamp because you have seen them in the in the league. Now you see them here in the qualifiers, and obviously you have to be you gotta give them some respect. But it seems like they have an idea how to play against Swamp, and so far looks good. But one thing I also want to mention is Swamp Gaming, they tend to have some starting difficulties, right? So whenever they start into a match, they kind of have to find themselves, and so far seems like they haven't really figured it out yet.
Hopefully they'll warm up into things. You have to give these sort of teams these sort of opening games of the day, right? Chances to grow into it. And you'd think Swamp would do that, but you never know. That's what we're here to find out. No one game of CrossFire is the same. Dropping back down into mid. Brando showing presence there with a bit of more utility as well. Kai's still ducking and diving on the site, as he so should, but Imagine's got the first. Once again, an opening frag for Supreme, and EU's jumping his way onto the site. They don't seem very aware of that just yet, but HTZ has recovered for only one with the help of Josh. It's now to be famous instead, and he's doing what he does best. 2 big kills. Might need one more, though. Still only a 2 versus 2. He's got help from Kais now. It's all down to Imagine. Now it's he who is in a clutch in a 1 versus 2. Does get cleared, though, does Kais. And Imagine's got a chance for this one, but Famous is ever reliable. And it's a big quad kill to hold on to that one.
That was insane. I mean, 2 beautiful one-taps here. But Brando with the M14, man, he gets a quick double. And for a second, I was like, okay, this might actually end up pretty bad here for Swamp. But Famous, of course, the guy he kind of brings it back. I mean, way too close for comfort, right? But still, very close. And definitely a very good attempt nonetheless. But yeah, Tune 2, very break even. It's been pretty much back and forth. It's some very dominant pushes here from Supreme, right? But obviously Swamp Gaming, they kind of hold on to it. They don't really let them, get too much of a lead.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far in this round, once again, a little bit slower, and it seems like whenever Supreme don't really, get around whenever they lose a round to Swamp, they tend to play a little bit slower. As you can see in this round as well, they just, they just chill. They don't want to go too deep, and as soon as they go too deep, as Brando did here, they will go down. So I will see. We will see what they have in store about this one.
Yeah, Brando was down to 7 HP very early round, and pretty much no chance to do anything. A bit frustrating. And, Penguin and Kashari mentioned it on the desk about how these close clutch rounds will really be the rounds that truly matter. And so far, the one that has come down to that 1v1 has gone the way of Famous and Swamp. If Supreme Stars are going to want to find a way to get a bit of an upset map win here, then they'll have to win all those close ones, the ones that can go either way. The ones that are up in the air, the ones we don't know about. But wasn't really a fair fight for Imagine when his Famous is on the other side, it feels like. Anyway, 30 seconds left in this one, in round 5. 2 rounds apiece, and Kais... Oh, we're getting off the angle at perhaps the wrong time here. Needs to be careful, he will miss the opening shot, but thankfully Famous is playing behind those boxes in the right position, and he's wasting time. The rotation should be coming in, and he might not even need those rotations. He's once again found 2 kills. Finally cleared by Imagine, but Snox is there on the scene as well to help out, and there's no chance for LSN to run away. That's a clean one.
Yeah, it was very clean indeed. I think this is the first push from Supreme where I was like, I don't know what they're doing. Because honestly, they were kind of pushing one here, one there. There was no real structure behind that whatsoever. I mean, Famous was hiding behind these boxes, right? And no one even thought about wallbanging him, right? And he just got away with it, right? He picks up a kill, he goes back, and for some reason, no one really wants to give him, some wall shots. But yeah, Swamp Gaming, they take away this round. And beautiful fashion as well. And yeah, Supreme, they need to find an idea, because for some reason they don't really seem too confident right now, especially with the last round, right? I mean, they probably didn't really want to go for it, but they kind of hesitated back and forth, and then they went for it, and then everyone was already dead. So we'll see. Josh this time around, key position though, finds one. Can he find a second?
Ooh.
Not really. The smoke is too deep though. Josh will find Brando. Here comes the support. HCZ will find one. He will find two. Imagine gets one as well. Can he do some more? That would be required. There's the trade.
Oh, wow.
There's the double kill here from LSN though.
That's a massive recovery then. That was a huge shock that he was able to get both. And unfortunately for him, Kai's in the right position, but they have spotted each other out. Now this makes this 1v1 interesting. Supreme Stars took so much damage in this round overall. Kind of a surprise they've been able to drag this one back to a 1v1 or any sort of close situation. Oh, and he had his chance. He had his chance to win it out. A second 1v1. And Kai's, B-hopping in. LSN had two opportunities. It wasn't able to take both. Another one of those close rounds that's gone awry. And they will matter come the end of the map.
Oh, man. He was actually given two chances there, I think, with the B-hopping of Kai's. But yeah, whatever. Brando on top of the bridge here. Trying to find something through the smoke. He will find HZ. That's a beautiful start into this round, though. Gives them the upper hand. Gives them some ideas, right? They have something to play with. Famous. And AC here. Very dangerous to be. But seems like he already has something else in mind. And I love this here from Famous. This is something you don't see coming. Unless Famous, he needs to swing. That's very dangerous. They were waiting for him, LSN. You will find him. Famous will go down as well. And this round is falling apart here. For Swamp Gaming, everyone is falling one by one, and I don't really see a way out for Swamp unless Josh and Kai's find a way, but we'll see. Josh slowly but surely making his way towards Belong, but of course he is basically alone because of, you know, Kai's is all over on A, but seems like Josh will find one. This is maybe a chance, you know, we'll see.
It's a couple of rounds in a row now that Swamp have been very willing to go very aggressive very early. And I wouldn't say it has paid off necessarily. The two rounds in a row have been very, very tight. And this one, not tight at all, really, at least at the beginning of it. All the trades went Supreme Stars' way. Now it could get a bit more interesting, but unfortunately for Swamp Gaming, they have gambled over toward the other side of the map. The bomb is planted comfortably for Supreme Stars with a 4-man after plant. And Josh and Kai's retaking this is going to be incredibly difficult. Every single angle here for Supreme Stars is pretty much perfect. Sure, there's some damage done like I was mentioning, but it won't be enough. Time is now running low. To force their way in, but in comes the swings. In comes the 3-2-1. At least a double peak, maybe even a triple peak at the end. And EU will close it out.
Yeah. Good setup, of course. Supreme, they had more than enough time to figure it out, and they did. And you know, Swamp Gaming, they made some mistakes and they paid for it, so you would assume they will learn from it. We'll see if this is actually the case or not. Imagine through the smoke, trying to find Josh. Is not gonna find anything just yet. And yeah, like what I'm seeing so far, this is very competitive, much to my surprise, to be honest. But hey, I rather have a very close matchup than, you know, one of these steamrolling games. So far so good. Of course,
True.
We have to, you know, give him some credits. Swamp once again. Of course, the upper dogs, I would say, but you know, Supreme, they found a way. So you gotta give them the credit they deserve. So this time around, once again, they have a lot of mid presence. Nothing too surprising. C4 in AC gives you an idea. It's very risky too. If he drops down there, the C4 is kind of lost, but doesn't really matter. The smoke will come out from Brando, so they're definitely building up something here, and can't really figure out what they have in store though.
Yeah, they're kind of just faking both sides of the map right now. Nothing too special that Swamp want to react to. As you can see, they have completely changed that approach that I was mentioning. They've realised those 2 rounds in a row were too close, they were too risky. Supreme dealt with them a lot better. We've gone back to a more defensive setup now. Question remains if that actually is going to work for them, though. 35 seconds now left in this one. C4 is still waiting around toward middle, and it could still hop down toward A. Famous is going to go for a look now with that HK, and the HK doesn't find anything on this occasion just yet. They have spotted him out at least, and now the time's going to become a bit of an issue. 20 seconds left in this one. Kai's in the right position, and Famous tapping over the HK once again. 3 headshots. We don't see them, but we know what it's all about. Kai's trying to do more, but I think he's already dealt with it all. Famous will even try and swing for one more, but it's Kai's to get that 4th frag. LSM with no time. Just wants to protect his KD. I am not dying to Kai's or Famous as well. And that is a beautiful round win for Swamp.
Yeah, I would love to see the replay, but maybe you get it later on. But yeah, hey, once again, Famous, of course. The guy everyone kind of speaks about every now and then. You know, he does things no one really does. One of the best players in the world, without a doubt, of course. This time around, you know, Supreme, this is now the 2nd round where I'm like, I don't know what they're trying to do. The timer runs down in the end as well. Very, very uncommon. Should never happen. But, well, it did. So I hope it doesn't break their neck. I hope they just find a way back.
Yeah.
Because, you know, whenever this happens, of course, it feels bad. It feels very bad, actually. But, you know, it seems like they already don't care about it in this round. 2 quick sniper kills. Works out beautifully for them. So Swamp Gaming already in a deficit here.
Not been the first time either. They've done quite a good job, Supreme, at getting a number of openings in some of these rounds, but unfortunately still on the back foot on the scoreline. Snox has somehow got one there hidden in that corner, and HTC's gone overlooked on the site, but there's Brando. No worries. And that will be a slight lead for Swamp, and they'll be pretty happy with that. I think early doors. Famous with 11 kills. Pretty sure all 11 of them were on the HK. I don't get any point yet. Even had to switch to a sidearm for them. As you would expect, no surprise there. And now we will go into the second half to see if Supreme can really give the Swamp a proper game here. Maybe take this to 3 maps at least.
Very possible, though. We'll see this time around as we switch sides, of course. Swamp. On the attacker side, I'm very excited for this one. Because I feel like whenever Swamp has, you know, the control here, they control the momentum and everything. I think they have something. Okay, that was a little bit awkward, but gold will go down eventually. Whenever Swamp has the, you know, playmaking ideas here, I think they kind of control the match, but kind of depends, of course, what Supreme has against that, but it's obviously always a little bit difficult to, you know, guess. But whatever, you can already tell, Swamp, they are very proactive here in mid. They have so much to do. Found one, there's more to do, but they don't really have the bomb just yet. They leave it behind, so that means they don't really want to commit to any side just yet. They just want to find what they can find before they kind of go back, as you can see right here. What is there to do for Supreme? Snox beautifully with the Harvey jump here. You will find one for free. Will fall back, and this is what I was mentioning, right? So they find a quick kill, they will fall back, and they regroup and reconsider their options.
They're actually choosing to go for a split by the looks of things. The bomb is still quite a way behind, just preparing and waiting to see what opening they actually get, and the opening will be over toward B. There's one more player where that came from, that's Imagine, but he's stuck in the corner. I think Snox is very aware of where he is. He is not long for this world, Imagine. He actually does really well to find one frag. To say he was screwed there would be a bit of an understatement, perhaps. LSN looking to clutch. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. Been a good game so far. He's the top fragger for his team, but gets swung on by Kais. Given no chance there whatsoever, and that's now back into a 2-round lead for Swamp.
Yep. And they don't really make it too difficult, though. Oh, that was a beautiful grenade here onto Swamp. Some damage, it's always welcomed, of course. Oh yeah, like I was saying, not too complicated, obviously, you know. They group up in mid, they go for it, they find a frag, go back, regroup, and yeah. basically by playbook. You love to see it. This time around, much slower though, not too much of a risk. So let's see. Once again, what I loved about the West League is they always had some fancy ideas on port, right? So sometimes they were boosting each other on AC, sometimes they were just pushing straight mid. I love to see that. But this time around, it seems like it's a very slow pace. Of course, you have some quicker rounds here and there, but it doesn't really feel the color block, if you know what I'm saying, right? So I want to see some more fancy stuff you don't see coming, like Famous did when he was rushing A long. Obviously, it didn't work, but I love to see it, right? So I don't know if they have anything to, you know, fulfill my expectations here, but we'll see. This is what I like. See, so they will slowly but surely make their way towards A long. It kind of doesn't work, but still, I love to see it. So this is something you don't see all day, and they will just fall back. I love to see it.
Yeah, taking their time. They got the opening 2, realised the rotations are going to be in pretty quickly. Just want to reset things. Don't give Supreme Stars all the information in the world. They'll know that they've taken that side of the map, but now they realise that they could be going back. And that's what Supreme Stars have actually recognised here. They've already rotated, well, 2. Make that almost nearly all 3 over. So we're going to be in for a brawl here for Swamp. One step made as well. That will be heard. And Supreme have read this very, very well. These entries are not going to be easy for Swamp whatsoever. And there we go. They get completely mowed down. It was very obvious, actually, in the end. I mean, you could say they could just have waited outside A and then still gone A. That was also an option, but Supreme realised that they'd taken extra time. B was the other obvious call, and, well, they read it very easily.
Six and 5 scoreline. Very close matchup. And we will start this round with Snox picking up Brando. Beautiful wallbang headshot with the M14. That's just, well, that's the M14 in a nutshell. Kais goes for a very interesting mid-peak. We'll go down, obviously. So that breaks the numbers even again. So far, it's just, yeah, I mean, what's there to say? It's back and forth, mids, fights, you know, they trade each other out, so doesn't really hurt anyone too much. Swamp Gaming, they make a move towards A, trying to see what they can find on A top, and with Imagine's position here, this might become very awkward, very quick, because I don't think he's gonna peek. He will just wait, and Swamp will realize eventually that someone is missing, but they don't really go for it. They stall this one a bit, and HZ will go down. Position now. Well, the position now doesn't really matter as he will go down, but he finds a second. That's insane. He finds a second. Famous will go down before Snox trades him out. And once again, Supreme with the upper hand. They are very likely to win this round unless Swamp find an answer though.
Well, they have been given the site this time, and they've realised they have the site this time as well. They're trying to look for a kill before they actually get the bomb down, and there's the info. Ducking down is Josh. They'll both go back toward long, though. Considering they've both been spotted, they just don't want obvious information. They want to split up and maybe make Josh and Snox guess a bit about where they're rotating from. Because Josh will be mostly focused on that position now and could get caught from elsewhere. But SN will, in the end, come and team up with Josh with either way. So we're going to be jumping in now, and there goes Josh. He's gone down. It's now pretty much impossible for Snox, and he'll get tapped as well. So, good retake. And Supreme Stars will not go away. It's 6-all.
They don't really give anything to Swamp, right? They're like, okay, you know what? We have the upper hand. We're gonna win this round, right? So they don't really want to give away anything. But look at this. At the long here, very fast approach this time around. Famous will pick up Brando, his former teammate. He will go down. Josh and Snox both find one as well. This is the change of pace I was mentioning earlier, right? So Obviously, Swamp very unhappy with how the last round panned out, and they decide to, okay, you know what, let's just fully push towards B, let's show them who's boss, and this is definitely the case here. Obviously, you know, Supreme, they weren't ready for it, they had no chance to hold on to it whatsoever, and Swamp, they get a quick, you know, revenge round here, and this is what I love. Just change the game here. Whenever something doesn't work, okay, let's try something else, and they did here as well. And even in this round, they don't waste any time. Look at that, catch by surprise, still dancing though before he goes down. Josh, insane, and they're not wasting any time.
I love that, actually. I mean, you mentioned about how some of their calls when they're playing the CFWL, how decent they can be, and how much they can really trouble their opponents, even when they're playing on the higher ping, right, in that league. They had a really incredible streak at one point last season, I believe. But, yeah, I mean, here is a great example about what they're all about, the firepower they have. Snox is now the leader in the server on 14. Famous and Imagine on 13 apiece. No, a bit of a fall away there. The Supreme Stars maybe trying to rotate, get some a stack of players on one side, maybe going for a gamble. When you're only one man down, maybe you don't need to do that just yet. Gonna just jump spot in the corner here to see if they see players creeping through in toward B, leaving one player there and focusing more on A and middle. That's a big miss for LSN though. Not the first one he's missed either as well, by the way. He missed a couple of critical shots in a 1v1 clutch earlier, and of course with the scoreline being 7-6, those 1v1s that Supreme lost have proven critical.
Yep. Not too much room for error though. Swamp, they have the upper hand in this round, found one quick kill, but they don't really know what to do just yet. They group up towards B, it seems, where they are going to run into two of the Supreme members. And yeah, obviously, again, very quick change of pace, but this time around, in the end here, they will take their time. 30 seconds on the board, they can't really wait too much. Flashes will come out, don't really do too much. They're blocking each other in the exit there, but doesn't really matter as the trade goes through regardless. Both good for one. Trying to find a second, not gonna happen though. 10 seconds on the timer though, Josh. Waiting for his opportunity here to plant the bomb. He wasn't quite sure where to plant it yet, but yeah, nonetheless, Brando and Imagine, last man standing here for Supreme. There's a lot of work ahead of them, but of course, very doable, unless Swamp have an idea about this one. Famous quickly goes out, finds both of them, and Imagine, of course, finds Josh here. It's not gonna be enough, and yeah, slowly but surely we are pushing towards the end here. Look at that. When they were trying to, start the engagement here, they kind of were blocking each other, right? So that was a little bit awkward, but it worked out in the end. So again, the pace is great. I love what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think also as well, it was a bit of unfortunate that considering we had a kind of a player in that little cubby jump spotting that I was mentioning, right? When the first kill comes through, kind of just commits to the full spray, thinking he's going to be traded a lot quicker, and players are going to be jumping at him a lot quicker. But it wasn't really the case. They kind of played it super patient, Swamp, didn't they? Once they'd actually taken the outskirts of the site, and once Josh had figured out where to plant. Yeah, almost for a second, going for an extra peek with the bomb. That could have been a disaster with 10 seconds left, as you said. That was dropped on the ground out of nowhere. But
yep,
you figured it out. And now 8-6. A bit of movement, and there we go. The movement we all love to see. Getting the little peek on the bridge. Snox will deal with the first straight away. Down into a 3v3 very quickly. Oh my goodness, that took EU a while to deal with Snox, and now they have a slim advantage.
Whoa, Kais, beautiful shot onto Imagine. A little bit unfortunate for Imagine that he missed that shot, but of course, good reaction here from Kais. Now, retake will happen eventually. Kais, when it matters the most, he is on point. And look at that, I mean, that's just too easy for Swamp. I mean, there was no utility used for that retake whatsoever. I think they had some left. Yeah, they had a grenade and a flash left, so could have made that a little bit easier for themselves. But nonetheless, 9-6 is the score. Swamp Gaming leading the charge, and yeah, so far, I mean, there was in this matchup there was a moment where something switched for Swamp Gaming, right? I mean, everyone was playing kind of slower here and there, and then all of a sudden they started pushing Belong, and they realized, okay, that actually worked. Then they started running towards mid and realized, okay, that's actually working as well, and they kind of built up on it, right? So Supreme, they need to find a solution for this. Finding Kais very early on here is definitely a very beautiful start into this round. A second as well. Josh will go down. And yeah, look at this. One by one, all these Swamp members will go down, they will drop to the floor. LSN good for 2. HZ, you will find one, but there's so much more left to do for him. And of course, Supreme, they're not wasting any time. That was a little bit too close. But yeah, beautiful, round from Supreme here.
Yeah, again, they realize now they're multiple map points down, so you may as well go down swinging, right? As they say. And was very much aggressive on that one. Very forward moving round from them. So, unfortunately, might only be a little flash in the pan though, because Swamp have got the opening frag in this round as well. LSN already down. And crazy, right? Famous and Snox have 32 kills between them. That's pretty good.
Yep. That's pretty good. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Snox, of course, he was one of the best players in Europe for years, so you don't really get to be too surprised about that. And of course, Famous. I mean, Famous is famous, so nothing to say about that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Penguin will say his words later on, right? But yeah, so far no surprises. I mean, the scoreline overall is still very surprising to me. I love how close it is, but is it going to be enough in the end here for Supreme to, maybe push it to overtime? I mean, it's definitely possible. In this round, it will be a little bit harder because, they already lost LSN, and, the round doesn't get easier on time, right? So we'll see. Swamp Gaming, they will make their move towards Belong, and they will clear a lot of map control here. Where's the rest of the squad? This is an interesting setup here. I'm not too sure what this is. It seems like, Just is going to fake A, maybe? And the rest of the squad will go out on B, but I love this. Look at Goat here. Yeah. Very beautifully done. The setup might be a little bit too crazy, maybe. We'll see.
It could be good for at least one, though, and I'll activate his teammate right next to him. And now the time's getting really low, so 20 seconds for Swamp to try and finish this game off. In comes the utility. How many does he get? It's 1. Does he get 2? Oh. No, he doesn't. That's frustrating, and they clear out the 2 closest site defenders. But guess who's here? It's Brando and Imagine already here and fighting, but unfortunately now he's very, very low HP, and he won't be allowed to get away. HZZ will trade it, and that is Swamp getting off to the start we thought they would, of course. I think it's fair to say that was kind of a non-negotiable opening map for the boys of Supreme, right? Considering the fact that we know map 2 is very much a Swamp home ground.
No, honestly, in that position, you cannot only get 1 frag. I was like, okay, this is crazy, but it might just work. And it did, right? He was able to find 1, but from his position, he needs to get at least 2, if not even more, right? And the rest of the squad wasn't really helping either. So a little bit disappointing here in the end, but overall, Supreme, you gotta give him some slack. That was very beautifully done. It was very close all up to the end, but in the end, Famous and the rest of the squad, of course, they're just so much more ahead sometimes, right? So I don't know. Is there anything left to say? I'm not too sure. Maybe you have to say something here, Travis.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what the desk has to say, because the boys are ready and raring to go.
Thank you again, Travis and Pandoxon. Great analysis, and they said that they highlighted a lot of the key factors that I think made Swamp kind of win this game. There was some cheekiness in the last round that could have paid off and maybe pushed it to overtime, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, Gold's position was very good when he was just boosted on top of the barn entrance and he couldn't kill except one player and he instantly got traded. Actually, also we questioning how Swarm Gaming is pushing into B-side without checking this angle, because this is a common angle and you can check it even pre-pushing. Before pushing, you can just check this angle.
You can see it.
So yeah, so you can see his legs. So definitely this is one question for Swarm Gaming, but in the end he could and he won. And he claimed the win versus Supreme. Actually, as I said, Supreme didn't just give an easy game to Swarm Gaming.
At all.
Actually, they fought hard for some points of the game. I said that these guys are even better than Swarm Gaming on port, but still the experience, as we said. And Kai's again and again and again. We always mention Kai's and Famous. Famous, I guess he has like 16 kills. Single-handedly just destroying Supreme, and the Kai's as well, he had like 12 kills. So both of these players are just instantly killing whoever comes on the crosshair.
Yeah, and I mean, there is a sense of stamina you need to have, in my opinion, because going 15, 16 rounds, fully focused on every single second of a round is excruciating to the mind. It takes a toll on you. And now, just like Pandoxin said, if map 1 went to Swamp Gaming and we're looking at map 2, which is sub-base, what do you think is going to happen?
I guess it's going to be so hard for Supreme to recover from this, because as I mentioned that Swarm Gaming loves to play sub-base and New Compound, but now New Compound is actually banned, so it's going to be the best on the line is sub-base. And we've seen how good Supreme Stars played on their own map pick, but still, they couldn't get the win. Yes, it was 9-6, I believe, or 10-6 or 10-7, which is kind of close, but if Gold just could have maybe did that multi-frag at this point.
Maybe on GR side. I feel like when the sides were swapped, Swamp Gaming's execution was
just better. It's just better.
Yeah, they just played the Blacklist side a bit better. Perfect, of course, but compared to Supreme, like, they didn't, they always found advantages. I felt like, even if it's not by killing another player, but just positioning on the map, which is something you highlighted in the pre-match. You said if they're not contesting them for map position and to control the map, then what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I've seen LSN trying to take controls, and he's trading, he's killing. He's very good sniper, to be honest, in my opinion. He's one of the veteran players in the North American region. He did very good as well with GOAT. Both of players maybe played kinda
the KDs were good.
Yeah,
the
maybe.
KDs weren't bad.
Yeah, maybe we have seen some underperforming from Brando and Ew, but I guess in the end, Supreme Stars did give a very good show. They may be full shortly for the individual skills coming from Kaz and Famous, but in the end, I can see them as a team. They're playing very good. They have a very good potential, and they can come back and just the next match.
You could see Swamp is sweating.
Sweating.
It
is not an easy game for Swamp Gaming, because everybody's going to be saying, yeah, Swamp Gaming is going to be qualifying easy. No, Supreme Stars did not give them that easy game. And we've seen this from the fights that they took versus Swamp Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, logically speaking, if Supreme isn't gonna give them a challenge, then they wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Swamp, if they're gonna stomp everyone in NA, then they would have qualified. So no, I feel like these guys are pretty well matched and rounded in a sense, right? When it comes to, for example, someone like Swamp Gaming, they immediately have so much experience now on a new compound to say that that's why it got banned, and that's why I think Subbase came through.
Yeah, Subbase is actually very good.
They had to choose one.
Yeah, Subbase is actually a very good map also. If they have to choose one, then they'd rather play Subbase than playing New Compound, because New Compound is basically a new map. You wouldn't even have callouts for these maps. So you just go.
He's here.
You just go for the Subbase. It's one of the basic maps that's been here for a long time, so you can have some kind of strategies. But why I'm saying that Strong Gaming is always having an advantage because of Famous's defenses on 8 down, and also HZZ on the woods with his M4 and
highlights speak for itself. There was a lot of picks where the other player isn't even looking. It just happens to be that someone rotated, someone gave a right or wrong call, and you're going to check, and then next thing you know, he's not where he's supposed to be, which can also tilt you, right? There's a big factor of tilt, especially in competitive play. If something happens and it was your job to hold site or to hold an angle, and you don't, it's chaos.
Yeah, it's kind of destroys your momentum as we've seen, and we also seen also Snox doing the Harvey jump, killing the down
exactly.
Candy,
Yeah,
trying
sick.
to go behind them.
That was
He's
sick.
just playing at his best, and we saw also that Snox is usually getting first blood. ZHZ as well. The ABR on Trump Gaming is very, very scary because they usually wall banged and they let Brando can't do anything in mid because when he's moving around the mid doors, he's usually get wall banged and just get some damages and the nades as well. So they made the mission of rotating between the sides is impossible because you usually will get damage while rotating.
And from what I saw, I felt like Supreme at some point was adapting to that play style, and they were trying to counter it in a way, but it was just not enough rounds to actually reach that conclusion. You know, it was what, 8-7, 9-7, and then like what, you have one round left, one mistake, they got first blood, it's done.
Yeah, Elsin actually tried to counter this by trying to peek from the cracks into the BC, trying to get Famous, but Famous maybe damaged him, and he went in to peek mid again. He's just trying to get information for his teammates, and then he went to B side, got one kill, and just instantly got traded. So he's actually moving the map, and he's hyperactive the map.
That fake that Swamp did was good, right? Like, how are you gonna know? Anyways, let's jump right into game 2, please. Take it away.
Alrighty, we're not wasting any time. Back into the action. It's going to be sub-based though. It is, well, I would say a very, very strong map for Swamp, but Supreme, they are, they are here to, obviously take their chances, and I don't know how good they are on sub-base, but this is a very, very good start. Snox will go down to Imagine, and you would imagine that's a pretty good start into this map, right?
Maybe, but they're going to need a lot more than that to defeat Swamp when it is one of their home grounds, of course. And, yeah, it would be a big shock if Supreme were able to get one over them here. But you never know. That's what we're here to find out. Swamp wants a place in that grand final tomorrow for that spot at the CFS Championships in China. We're usually the regular North American representative at that tournament. And I want to be there again. Famous wants to be there again to meet all the adoring fans, of course. Supreme with the opening pick, like you said. Snox already down. And a little bit of presence being shown by Brando as he moves his way forward. Trying to catch HTZ, almost actually moves him away from that corner, but Josh is there to help out. That could be the recovery they need, and immediately, just like that, click of a finger, it's gone the other way. Dice will go down to LSN. That's a lovely second kill, by the way, even though he was low HP, but unfortunately for them, Famous and HDZ are on the scene, and they'll finish off the round.
I mean, of course, lovely double, especially the second there, right? I mean, that was beautiful, but wasn't enough in the end. Swamp, they will find the first rounds more or less convincingly. And Supreme, yeah, I mean, they had a good run here, but didn't really work out in the end. So the question is, what is there to do for them to figure it out? They have a lot of wood presence there towards, I would say, upper A, maybe. I'm not too sure where they want to end up, but as you can tell, the bomb is still in the, on the BL spawn, so they probably don't want to go anywhere just yet. Just basically exploring everything and figuring out their options. But we'll see. And again, it starts off very slow, and I just want to see more color in these games, right? Because in comparison to the West League, this is a little bit more dry, if you know what I'm saying, right? So they basically they play basic CrossFire, right? Nothing too fancy here, nothing too fancy there. They have some rounds where I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's unique. But so far I'm a little bit underwhelmed almost. But we'll see this time around. We'll see how Supreme make their way towards Belong here. They can't really find Josh in the open, and that's already kind of bad for them, though.
It's going to be so hard to push through, because even when you saw they got the opening frag in the previous round, Swamp just collapsed over them. There was no way in. EU will get a lovely entry toward Josh. That's actually a really slick kill. That does recover things, and they don't need to commit over toward B just yet. 35 seconds, they can move back, but Famous is playing a forward angle and gives EU no chance whatsoever. And even though they do have that pathway down toward A, the rotation for Swamp is in and ready to go. Famous has got the line. More headshots you would think are likely from this angle. There is one. He knows that Brando's going to be close, and it's a good pre-fire. He'll go down, and NSN does trade HCZ, so he's got a chance in this 1v2.
There's a chance. There's a lot of work ahead of him. He will swing, and, well, that's already the end of the story.
I tried to set him up. I tried to set him up for you, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a chance, of course, but sometimes it's just not meant to be, and this was the case here as well. Lots of trades here and there, but yeah, once again, in the end, Swamp, they will make sure that this is their round, and ooh, this seems like a different kind of approach. LSN quickly on the round towards A down, and he misses a crucial shot though, and takes a lot of damage as well. So that has kind of backfired. I mean, yes, this is the kind of play I want to see, right? So it hasn't worked this time around, but maybe it works next time around.
What I do like about Supreme Stars, right? I mean, I've only really had the opportunity to see one of the two of these players before, like Brando, for example, and Imagine and SM once or twice, but no more than that, really. Is that even though they are the massive underdogs here, they are very clearly, as you say, they're playing bog standard Crossfire, but they're not mugs. They know what they're doing. They're playing good, control positions. They're taking their time, they're not going for too many 1v1s. I mean, they tried to trade Famous, right? But unfortunately, that's just something that's very, very hard to do. He didn't just wander into his crosshair one by one. Unfortunately, Famous just makes these sort of things look way too easy. I mean, for God's sake. I'm trying to build up Supreme saying they're trying to do things properly, and I think they are, but you've got a player of Famous's quality on the other side. What can you really do? The answer is not much.
Yes. I mean, you might as well just curse him. But here's the trade. Finally, Famous will go down. It's about time, but 3 more frags are required. And, 40 seconds on the board seems impossible, though. I mean, we have seen clutches before, but this one seems just very unlikely. And I like this approach here from Swamp as well. They play it safe. They know, hey, even if he's gonna stall 30 more seconds, we will win in the end here. So I like how they are not over, rushing by one. The only one that is kind of exploring is Kai's, and I don't really blame him for that. That's just what Kai's does every now and then, right? So yeah, he will, he will figure out where the bomb is, and yeah, he makes a smart decision now to wait for the rest of the squad. He's not just jumping in. I mean, he will give away his position, but the first shot will also be the last shot in this round. So once again, a very strong round here from Swamp, and it kind of tells the story of what Swamp came to do.
$3-0 for Swamp. All cool, calm, and collected for them. The grand final is getting closer and closer. And CFS getting closer and closer, bit by bit. Opening frag for Famous again. Imagine we'll get at least a trade though, but there we go. I mean, that's the problem with where you set up now, of course, behind these doors on sub base, right? How powerful the M14 is going for these wall bangs. Sometimes it's just not safe.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a lottery as to whether you get spammed down through it or not. VV3 though.
With the M14, it's just sometimes so random. You could just do what HEZ did there, right? He just swings, sprays, and he will finish off everyone without going down himself either. Goat now last man standing, once again. 1v3. Josh and Kai is very low on HP though. It's basically the same scenario, but a little bit easier maybe. But when I say easier, Goats will one. Around, and being the guy he is, it's just very hard to know what he's doing, right? So 4-0 is scoreline, as it seems we are going to be having a quick break. I imagine this is a timeout, right? I mean, if not now, when is the right timing? And I think when you are Supreme, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to figure out, right? But what can they change? I mean, they're not playing bad necessarily. It's just Swamp playing a lot better.
That's the thing I was kind of mentioning, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really fault them. I think they're doing a totally fine job with what they've got at their disposal, with all their individual skill, right? I think they're really doing okay. But you're playing the favourite. Playing the favourite to make it through, and has always been the favourite to make it through. So, you know, it can be tough that way. And you just gotta try and do your best and do the right thing. And right now they are doing the right things, right? They're not exactly just, as I was mentioning earlier, not just going for silly plays, going for crazy peaks. They're playing proper Crossfire and even going for, as you can see, like timeouts at the right moment too, to try and discuss things, to find what the answer could be. It's the right time to call a timeout as well, right? When you're looking at it, if you lose that many rounds in a row, just make it, give yourself some time to breathe. Don't let the game run away totally. You do yourself a disservice if you just let it peter out without putting in any time to discuss things.
Yes. Okay. While we wait, you know, it's just okay. So realistically, even if Supreme isn't able to, you know, come back and push it to the third map, it's not the end of the story, right? I mean, they still have a chance. You know, once they are in the lower bracket, they can come back. But of course, it makes their road so much longer and so much more difficult and more exhausting, and you know, whatever verbs you can find for that. But it is still possible nonetheless. I mean, even after this timeout here, they can find a way to stop Swamp from doing whatever they're doing better, right? So Brando, of course, he was in the squad last year for, you know, CFS, and I'm pretty sure he has an idea. It's just very hard to, you know, get the rest of the squad to, you know, execute these ideas sometimes, right? We'll see. The break is over now, so just about seconds before we jump back into the game.
I hear the quick switching. That means we're ready to go. 4-0 for Swamp to start. Has that pause worked in any decent manner for Supreme? Well, I have been playing like a solid game so far, as I was kind of saying, like not doing anything crazy. I actually would like them to try something crazy at some point, right? They need to go for a peak like this, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. That sort of triple swing, a bit more aggressive, try and catch Swamp getting off guard, but been here before. In the first round of the game, they got the opening kill and ended up losing the round. So, let's see if they can convert this one, and it'll be difficult considering they're pretty low.
Well, seems like they have an idea. Brando will find HZ through the smoke. Brando! Okay. Brando good for 2, not wasting any time. Okay. This round looking much better all of a sudden. The break seems to, you know, the break did their magic. They need it. And, I mean, the round's not done just yet, but it looks very promising. Josh and Kai is last man standing. Everyone from Supreme is still alive. And look at the setup here, Kai's. And, of course, gosh, what can they do in this scenario? I mean, this looks good. This looks absolutely amazing. 15 seconds now left on the bomb, though. And LSN will make sure the round is secure. But that was a little bit scary.
That was scary, and it could have been super fun. That was a crazy attempt there for Kai's. It was always going to be pretty impossible once he got those two, because he had to jump into the site with 2 more players holding him, but still. It was a great attempt, either way. We'll see if they can now compound that first round win.
Okay, here we go. LSN. This time around, you will start with a quick kill onto Famous, but he goes too deep and is instantly punished for doing so. So yeah, well, kind of tells us the story about Supreme sometimes, right? I mean, he gets the opener, and he is basically free to go, but decides to go a little deeper and is instantly punished again. And it's not what you have to do in this kind of situation, right? You want to play safe, of course, with the momentum. You want to be, the game changer here and there, but if you go down, the rest of the team is left alone, so I'm not too sure if that was the right decision. Nonetheless, you can tell Supreme, they have an idea. They want to go towards A, and I believe it's Goat that will make a little bit of noise towards B. But I don't think it will matter too much. Snox will definitely not change his position whatsoever. I think he will just hold it down. It's a matter of HZZ if he's able to help his friend out there. But it seems like, yeah, look at this. I mean, they're just stalling too much. Supreme and HZZ now, well, Snox now has support from HZ, and I don't know about this one.
He'll get the entry though. Oh, he didn't know which way to look there. Snox, he was betwixt in between. The battle for Josh now is pretty impossible, playing from this box position, and they should get cleared and will get cleared. So there we go. They're starting to show something now. That pause has worked wonders. That's 2 rounds in a row. Good trading, good entries. They're starting the rounds well. Things are changing. But, Swamp Plants are back, and they could be about to do that already.
Yeah. I mean, guys, what is he doing? He's doing it all alone. HZ helps him out in the end here as well. I mean, Supreme, they finally had 2 really good rounds, and in this one, for some reason, it just goes back to the old story. I mean, what can Goat really do? It seems like he's always the last man standing, right? I mean, for some reason, he just gets away with everything. And yeah, I mean, that's 2 beautiful, quick kills here, but there's 3 more required to only secure this one. And Josh, he will make sure this doesn't happen. And yeah, I mean, again, 2 really good rounds here from Supreme, but it takes more than that. And Swamp, they make sure, especially Kais, that, the lead will extend even more.
Famous will get the opening. Stuck behind the site though, and you can see Brando is like, look, I know you, my friend. I've played with you a lot in the past. I'm not going anywhere near you. That's too dangerous for my liking. So he'll allow Famous to get his opening and then fall back away. Can't remember what number Famous was on before we had our little tack pause. I think he might be on like 7 or 8 kills now, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So yeah, great game so far. They are grouping up outside B here. Push through the doors with the bomb. Look at the rotation coming in from Swamp though. They're already way ahead of the game. They're going to be like behind them, I think, a lot quicker than Supreme are expecting.
Slowly but surely making their way towards B. They will leave 1 player behind, but Snox!
There it is.
Talking about leaving behind, I mean, he just wraps around, finds 2 quick kills, and his job is done. He got everything that he needed, and once again, of course, Goat. Last man standing. 3 more to go. It's always the same story with this guy. And it seems like 3 out of 3 clutches, he can't really get it done. I mean, you can't really blame him. The rest of the squad is just going down too quickly. 6-2, what a scoreline to be in.
Yeah, as comfortable as anything right now. Could be a 7-2 half as well. Yeah, even better. Nice little pre-fire in toward the vent there for Go to remove Snox pretty comfortably. They all try and run down Kais, but Kais has got the sidearm out to do some good work with it. But Brando will find him in the end. It's down to Famous now, back of the site once again. It's up between 2 different angles, but look at the help he's got, and just like that, blink your eyes once. Famous got a second, Josh got 2, one with the nade, and there is the 7. That is a very, very clean half, as we so expected.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't want to repeat myself too many times, but this time around, you know, on sub base Supreme, they look a lot weaker for some reason. I was really hoping on, you know, when we were seeing a port that they actually have a lot to say to Swamp, but on this map, I don't really see that, you know, coming our way, and I'm not too sure what the issue is. Obviously, we know Swamp is very good on sub base, but it's not one of the best maps for Swamp, right? I mean, they are basically good on every map, don't get me wrong, but they obviously have some favorite maps, and Subbase is good, right? It's a very good good map for them, but I would rather say, for example, maybe Compound. If they are playing Compound, Swamp will win 100%. Or Mexico, even Mexico, right? But doesn't really matter what I have to say. We will jump back into the game, and it seems like Supreme, they have something to say. They're rushing and gunning, but LSN will be the first one to go down. And that's not really an ideal start. I mean, they have a lot of map control here towards the machine room, but what does it give them?
Oh, what a shot. Brando just tries to go for a couple of taps, but Kai's had the number and had his number, and he made sure to dial it as well. All back, but really all Supreme are left with now in a 3v5 is maybe trying a gamble stack over toward one side of the map. They are looking to try and do that, putting 2 over toward the A side now, 1 remaining on B. He's been spotted out by Kai's, though. That's a very hard shot to hit, pretty much impossible shot to hit. So, good little hop over for me to ignore that and avoid that.
Okay.
A chance there as well, but wasn't able to deliver, and Snox will jump on his head. No way through. Famous taps down Goat, and just like that, 5v1.
Not too sure what that was. They were kind of looking at each other, and no one was really doing anything. Huh. Well, doesn't matter in the end. 8-2. Very convincing from Swamp, and honestly, with all the love in my heart, they don't really do anything too special in my opinion. I mean, they're just playing, like you mentioned, basic CrossFire, right? They're not really overwhelmingly, you know, pulling out all these strats, right? I mean, look at that, Kais just jumping out. Brando is good for 1. The trades are beautiful. Finally, some response, and you know, they are telling Swamp, yo, you know what? You can play however you want, but you can't play like this, right? So
yeah, exactly.
It's definitely a beautiful response, but there is so much more required to push this one to the third one.
Two away for Swamp to get this job done and relax until tomorrow's final. Who knows, it might be a rematch between these two. Reminder that Supreme would drop into the lower bracket final, where the next game we've got coming up today is the lower bracket semi-final between Top Rank and EZMoney. The winner of that would play Supreme as it stands, and the winner of the Supreme versus those two would play Swamp in the final again, so rematch is definitely a strong possibility.
Look at this. Slowly. But Snox will just jump out. He's not down just yet, and it seems like he will not be punished for that whatsoever. Josh and Snox both find 1 each, and 8-3 scoreline. You have the double man disadvantage in this round. It's just so much for Supreme to handle right now, and I just can't see them figuring it out. I mean, triple Wen strat is crazy. That's cool. I love to see that, but it's gonna matter in the end. Imagine, good for 1, not good for a second though. That would be maybe a change up in the in the pace here, but it's not gonna matter too much. Goat will be run over eventually. Famous, a little bit unfortunate misses here, but doesn't really matter. LZN, good for 1, and 2 more required. Definitely winnable though. But he has to figure it out. The bomb will be planted. He knows that. And he's not wasting any time wrapping around it. And we'll see if he actually has something to say. I mean, his HP are not very ideal, but with the TRG in hand, it's not very, very much a thing that matters too much, but yeah, well, seems like, you know, Kais has something to say, like, hey, you know what, stop yapping too much, man. I'll just finish this round, and yeah, 9-3.
Simple as you like, and it's what we all thought would happen as well. Can Supreme elongate this match a little bit more? The opening pick from LSN is nice. He's been impressive. Hit some very hasty shots in this BO3. Imagine as well had a great game on map 1. In vain, of course, but still. And there's HCZ just holding the line, expecting that from LSN. Back even once again, very quickly.
Yeah, this round, everything is a little bit slower. It's still so much better for Swamp. For some reason, they are able to find these, you know, picks here and there. And yeah, we are pushing it to the end here. I mean, unless there's something to say. But Nox will already find one. HZ, almost a quick double imagine, now last man standing. And yeah, you know what? It was definitely a very good attempt here, especially on map number 1. But on map 2, sub-base, I just can't say too much to Supreme, because I feel like they weren't really here, they weren't really performing, and this kind of ends this matchup here at least, right? So, yeah. Swamp, they definitely showed up who's boss, and they very much deserve the win here.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just as easy as pie, isn't it? Bish bash bosh, job done. That's what they came here to do. They knew they were the favourites. They knew they should be the ones in the grand final. And they know they should be the ones at the CFS Championship in China, right? So there's a long way to go until we find that out for sure, of course. They've still got a BO5 to play tomorrow against maybe Supreme Stars again. It could be a rematch, like I was saying. But that lower bracket semi-final between Top Rank and EZMoney, that's what's coming up next for us. And that they, of course, will have something to say whether that is Supreme Stars playing once again in the final. But Swamp have got the job done, as we so expected. They must look great on the HK, on everything. He's just the GOAT, isn't he? And we'll throw it over to the boys on the desk to talk over that end of the series.
Thank you again so much, Travis and Pandoxin. Yeah, and I think the Swamp just sealed the deal, you know, like first game, fresh on the keyboard, you know, in the competitive scene, when you're actually playing, it's different than scrimming and all that. But once game 2 started, you can tell there's a marginal gap between not teams, but individual experience. So a 10-7 game 1, and now look at the score. And this isn't really anyone's fault. I'm not trying to throw shade at all. I'm just saying Swamp is that good, and just like they said, they deserve to be in the China tournament as well. So we're gonna have to wait and see, and it's a long run, but they're looking like they have the momentum and potential, as the highlight shows.
Well, yeah, as you said, because Swamp Gaming coming here as favored, and I said as well that if port went in the favor of Swamp Gaming, I don't think we have a chance to go into map 3, and that's exactly what happened, because Swamp Gaming on sub-base, they are actually a good team. They have some good aggressive styles. Their EBR and wall banks just pays off, because HCZ and Snox are monsters on these weapons, and that's what we've seen from them. Alongside with also that we have seen Famous is playing aggressive from it down and just killing everybody who's pushing it down. So overall, experience and video skills and everything just sealed the deal for Swamp Gaming on the second map, which was way more stomped than the first map.
They asserted their dominance.
Yeah, because as we said, they kind of went into, they are more warmed up, they are actually into the mood of the tournament, and now they are one step only from making it to the CFS Grand Finals.
Yeah, and I feel like Supreme, this is definitely a learning experience for them. It's not over yet. You can always come back, you can always compete. I like that team, I like the individuals on it, and I just feel like at this given moment of time, Swamp does have the favor in reaching the goals that they are trying to get to.
Yeah, because the experience and the players, everybody knows what they are doing. And also I want to mention that Swamp Gaming has been playing for the for the highest level of competition, which is the West League, for 2 seasons in a row. So the guys are actually screaming more
Not
often.
Just playing.
Yeah, they're screaming more often, and they're playing also tournaments more often than Supreme team. So it's actually kind of biased towards Swamp Gaming because the guys are already into the mood of the tournaments, and they've played a way stronger matchups, such as versus Rogue, versus Inner Circle. We're talking about Gaming Gladiators. So now they're just the hard work and the efforts and the tournaments that they have been played is paying off for them. So now it's a matter of who's going to be closing the last game versus Swamp Gaming, because Swamp Gaming now they put their team into the grand finals, and which is going to be played, I guess, tomorrow. So now
hopefully,
Supreme Stars, they are now in the lower brackets. They're going to be waiting the winner from Top Ranked and EZMoney, the matchup that we're going to be talking about in the
yeah, I mean, that's gonna have to wait and see on the second series results. You know, Supreme relatively isn't out, not at all.
No. They have another chance.
Yeah, and the way they performed in game 1 against Swamp Gaming, if they can bring that to the table, then they definitely have another shot. Yeah.
Well, now it's not the end of the world for Supreme Stars, but the next matchup, which is going to be top ranked and EZMoney. We don't want to be talking much because we can have time to talk about it, but it's going to be the last chance because now we're moving to the lower bracket. Swamp Gaming already moved to the upper bracket grand finals, which is going to be waiting the winner from 3 teams: Top Rank, EZMoney, and Supreme Stars. In my opinion, maybe you didn't watch Top Rank yet. I know a few players and almost most of the players.
Just ask you, like, where would you rank Top Rank and EZMoney compared to each other on a chart, for example?
I guess EZMoney have the better players because they have Wisdom, Uzar, Stonic. By the way, they got the benefit of having 2 players from the EU MENA because the rule said that you can have 2 players from the other region just as an import. So they have that. They took the advantage of this and they took 2 players. Yeah, they took Uzar, they took Stonic, and they actually trying to go for it because they also have Wisdom. Wisdom is one of the best players as well, and one of the oldest and the most experienced players in the NA region.
I would say that the maps would also play a huge role in this next series, to be honest, and much appreciation as well for Swamp Gaming on their victory. Let's not leave that. I'd love to give them a shout out, especially for Famous Kais and all of them. They performed phenomenal, well deserved. They've done their homework and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they deserve the win. That we said that they are coming here as favored. So honestly, Supreme Stars, they played very good on the first map, which is their own pick. And then, as I said, momentum wise, you just in your head, okay, this matchup is very hard. Let's try to beat them on our own map pick. And when you don't do it and you go to their own map pick, you just get cancelled, and everything in your brain just falls apart. So that's what happened with Supreme Stars, because this is not Supreme Stars that we watched on port. They play completely different. Way less aggressive. Swamp Gaming actually played also way different. They played more aggressive. They tried to go for the picks. HSCC also tried to go for the fights in woods with Skies, Famous pushing from it down or just waiting on Rocket, tapping heads. So all the play styles changed one way into the good side for Swamp Gaming, and the other way is into the deep side for the unlucky side for the top Supreme Stars.
Supreme Stars, Anyways, let's. I think we're done with that. As for next game, so what are the things we need to look out for? Let's start with, for example, maps, players, and the elements that not could make them win. Things that could make them, go the other way, just like what happened right now.
Well, as I mentioned, that these teams maybe not playing on a highest competitive level for the past few months, for example. So definitely New Mexico, New Compound, Eagle Eye. These maps we're not gonna
new guns. I don't think.
No,
they've played the new guns.
Yeah, definitely they play the new guns, even if they scrim or just play public games. They're just gonna be playing with the new guns, but scrimming and practicing and even playing tournaments on the new maps. I'm talking about Eagle Eye. I'm talking about New Mexico. I'm talking about New Compound. These maps, I don't think we're gonna be seeing them unless they want to just go and try to scrim versus each other.
I mean, we've seen teams like TBI and other teams bring out the new maps and actually take it as a challenge.
Ping Pong Pals as well. They took Ping Pong Pals took this map versus Rocky Sports, which was stunning performance from them. So maybe we can see it. Yes, of course. I'm not saying that
I'm excited.
100% we're not gonna see it, but logic-wise talks that says that those two teams
stick to the manual.
Stick to the manual. You just go to the regular 5 maps. We have Black Widow, Subbase, Ankara Compound, Mexico also changed. So New Mexico, just try to go into maybe Port, Black Widow, Ankara. These maps, sub-base, these maps,
yeah.
they can at least cool out, try to play together. Maybe they scrim more onto these maps.
It's not the time for new things right now.
Yeah, but you don't need this right now. You're in the lower bracket. This is different from the other series because there is no second chance for any of these teams.
This
we're
is
talking
their
about
final,
easy, yeah, we're talking about EZMoney. The team has a very strong individual skills. We're talking about Uzar, Stonic, Wisdom. These guys are very good as well. And we're talking about top rank, the underdogs. I'm talking about because maybe we haven't seen them playing. Jennifer, Lisa, and everything.
You never know. I mean, I'm not gonna give any assumptions just yet. I would definitely have to look at the maps, and I definitely want to watch game 1 before I make any conclusions. But nonetheless, you did highlight. You said EZMoney does have relatively on paper, right?
On paper,
I ain't trying to hate on anyone.
Maybe the others are underdogs.
Exactly, yeah. And to keep in mind, by the way, in a lot of sports, not just in esports, when you're the underdog, you actually play better.
Yeah,
exactly. So this is what I'm hoping for, is if top rank has not something up their sleeve, there's nothing cheesy you can do to like overcome EZMoney, except actually doing the hard work in between rounds and winning them with the right callouts and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Especially looking at the rosters right now, we have Jennifer, Jukas, Lisa, Matador, and Enyu. The players themselves, maybe not everybody's familiar with. We haven't seen them that much. That's why we call them the underdogs. Also, their KDs is actually quite good.
But they got here, right? Like they made it here.
Yeah,
I've
top
done
4.
Some research. They're definitely worthwhile, and they deserve this slot and this chance to possibly qualify.
Yeah, exactly, because the guys, the KDs are actually impressive as well. Okay, maybe Jennifer didn't have the good tournament so far, but look at all the players; they are all positive. This indicates that we're gonna be seeing a very good game. Same as we said that Supreme Stars played very good the first map. Supreme Stars started very good. They had a good momentum, but maybe it shifted a bit towards Swamp Gaming because the experience of Swamp Gaming. But here in our situation, it's not. Now, as we can see, we have Pyrex, Ozar, Logic, Stonic, and Wisdom. Talking about Wisdom, he's one of the oldest players in the NA region. Ozar and Stonic are coming from the EU MENA region, which is an imports for the EZMoney, and Logic also. This guy's been around for years. So that's why I'm just kind of saying it's biased around EZMoney. Because the experience that Logic has, Wisdom has, Stonic is casually playing every day, Uzar as well is casually playing every day, Pyrex is trying to cope with the team. So these things maybe make the match a bit easier for EZMoney.
I would say you're saying that maybe EZMoney just has a slight advantage, you know what I mean? It's nothing crazy like we saw in the last series where your roster has like Famous and stuff, you know? But nonetheless, we're looking at the key players here. And it's Pyrex and Inu. So
yeah, Pyrex playing very good lately. As we can see, his KD, the guy maybe not everybody watching play. That actually his name is familiar for me, but his KD is actually insane. Inu as well, 1.52 KD coming into this matchup.
Massive,
so that's a
any player.
That's a guy you wanna be kinda avoid.
That's a guy you wanna shut down.
Yeah, that's a guy you wanna avoid. You don't wanna be fighting him as well. And Wisdom, the guy has been here for a long time. I watched this guy and played versus this guy, by the way, a lot, and I also played with him, screaming in the NA regions a lot, and also with Logic.
Cool. That's fun.
Logic played in nice competitive levels as well for some time, so that's what's making EZMoney. Maybe that's why
like
they called
it's a fluctuation. You know, they were at their A game, they went down a little bit, and now they're going back up there. Or they're
they
trying
have 2 imports as well.
Exactly, and having 2 imports, it might seem like a disadvantage, but it's not. Like a lot of these guys on EU, they've played with NA players, like you said. Yeah, and they bring something to the table. Even if NA went to EU as well, they always have. There's always this banter between NA and EU, this is bad, this is worse. No, but I feel like at least for CrossFire, all these negatives can be thrown out the window, and just positives like new strategies, new IGL, new tactics. All these things can work in your favor.
Yeah, because EU MENA as well is screaming more than NA. So these guys are coming here, they are high up, they are have more screams maybe than the other guys, and also have more experience because they played versus the top team, which is, for example, Rocky Sports, Inner Circle,
They
GG.
foreshadow, like, things
And
are
all this-
predictable.
Yeah,
Gameplay is predictable.
that's what are you expecting from them, and also they come here with passion, and they move this passion for you. Maybe wisdom and logic.
The
You don't
hype,
have, you don't have the passion as these young stars. But when you get these young stars, they move this passion to you, so they make you want to win.
They resonate with
Exactly.
you,
So they make you
sure.
want to win. That's what we want to be getting imports.
It's kind of cool how they gave the teams the ability that you can import.
Yeah,
players
Snox and
from
HZZ
you.
are actually imports as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's very creative, to be honest. I
Yeah,
have to give credit
to mix the bloods together, you're gonna be seeing one of the best rosters, as we can see from Swamp
like
Gaming.
two styles, you know.
Exactly. Snox was one of the best European players out, at I guess 2016, 2017, and he's now playing for the NA region.
It's
HZZ as well.
it's like watching Latin America football compared to like English football. You know, like one is very aggressive and physical, and the
you mix
other
them.
is very finesse and talented and stuff. It's crazy. I
Yes,
love it.
so imports actually make difference, and as we see it on Swamp Gaming, how Snox is kind of
so we're
trying,
in for a very good game.
trying to go for a game for his top levels. HZZ is doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He's just playing so freely, more than maybe when he was playing on Unnights. So now the imports again can make the matchup more easier for the teammates.
Yeah, it feels like you have three key
Yes.
players at this point that you want to look out for, not just one, you know. And if it was for me, I would say they're all key players, to be honest.
Yeah.
Excluding the KDA, because if you add and average the KDAs, actually, I think top rank would come up higher.
Yeah.
Because when I looked, they had one person who was 0.57. Everyone else is over
Only.
1.
Yeah.
But for the the EZMoney, it seems like they had less
Yeah, exactly.
on the KDA. So, anyways, let's jump to the maps. New Mexico subbase got banned. Black Widow got picked by EZMoney. That makes perfect sense to what we said to before. Eagle Eye. Okay. So the decider, new compound. So the decider is gonna be what, subbase or port, maybe?
Ankara, I guess. Okay, Ankara is banned. It's gonna be port. Yeah.
Port, yeah.
Okay, Eagle Eye is actually counted as one of the ports. Yeah.
Yeah, it's port, yeah.
Yeah, Eagle Eye is actually counted as one of the old maps now because it's been here for like
Relatively
5-6
speaking,
years.
it's been around. But
So,
for a new player, it's new.
Exactly. They banned New Mexico now. They banned New Compound as well, but they're gonna be playing first on Black Widow. I wanna be talking about the Black Widow pick from EZMoney because they have Stonic, the sniper of this team. He's playing actually very good in Black Widow. So you might be relying on his picks, on his movements, on his lockdowns when he's playing. When he's playing on global sites. So that's why maybe you want to be going to Black Widow, trying to put a foot just in this series and show why you are coming here, because this is the last chance for both teams.
So you're saying basically that EZMoney is kind of relying on the ARM.
Yes.
Anyways, let's jump to game 1, please, and send it back to Travis and Pandox.
Alright guys, we are back with some more CrossFire action, not wasting too much time again. EZMoney versus Top Rank. Honestly, I have no idea how this one will pan out, but I'm very excited. And Eagle Eye, that's interesting to me though.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a bit of a dive into the unknown. I think for both of us, I think most of us and nearly all of us know Swamp Gaming from all the time we've covered CFWL. But in North America, some of the lower tier teams I'm not too aware of, so this will be new for me. So looking forward to seeing what it will look like today. Black Widow is where we start between these two for the right to play Supreme Stars in that lower bracket final and to keep themselves alive.
Scarlight, huh? That's the first one for me. Okay. I mean, sure, why not? It's the first time ever I actually see anyone play that gun. Yeah, I mean, well, technically it's a very old one, but it's kind of new.
True.
Yes, I know what you're saying, but okay, sure. I mean, this is exciting actually. I love to see that gun come into play. I mean, obviously I have seen it in pucks here and there. Some people troll around with it, but an actual qualifier here. Okay, sure. I mean, I'm ready for it. Sure.
Let's see if it can surprise us in any way.
Yeah.
Jennifer Matador, Gyokez, Inui, and Lisa. It's going to be a little bit difficult to say that one, but I'll try my best. Pyrex, Logic, Stoneck, Wisdom, and Uzar. That's a little bit more comfortable for the voice box.
Yeah, name spelling sometimes can be difficult, but hopefully we will figure it out. This time around, Lisa is a very good position with that TRG. Oh, the shot has to be taken eventually. He goes down. That is so unfortunate. I mean, that is actually beyond unfortunate. Nonetheless, it seems like some damage has been done, and well, it seems like top has to answer back. Now we see the Skylight come into play. That's a beautiful tap onto Logic. We'll see yet another one onto Wisdom, and now it's a 1v1, 25 seconds on the bomb, on the timer. The bomb has to be planted eventually, and there you go. Uzag will figure it out and find the kill here, and yeah, that's the first round though.
We've seen what that weapon can do a little bit.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no clutch completed. Can be that. I mean, even though it's funny, right, with weapons like this in any game, I feel like it can be a situation as we look to entry toward long Pyrex. Oh my goodness, that's very, very comfortable. Even if the weapon is supposedly worse, like stats-wise, or even just like how hard it is to control, anything like that, the amount that you prefer it when it comes to personal preference can outweigh the pain of the weapon, if you get what I mean. So like it's a hard one to sort of think about when you see someone using a weapon that's maybe not as good as you would see the other weapons be, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's whatever you feel the most comfortable with is what you'll play with. Jennifer did try his best there. It was actually a decent attempt in that clutch, but it's an easy 2-0 start.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, honestly, obviously you want to play the best gun you feel, comfortable with, but there are some meta weapons, right? I mean, faster reload, faster switches, whatever you name it, right? And the Scar is definitely not one of them. The Scar is very slow, the reload takes forever, and yes, back in the days it was definitely a very good gun, less recoil, but nowadays we have a lot of, better guns. The HK, for example, that gun is a one-tap machine. I'm very glad we have this one, actually, because I love to see, when Famous taps people all over the place with it. But nonetheless, Lisa will find the first frag on the Wisdom, but here comes the rest of the squad towards B, and it's only one guy holding it, and Pirates, he already has an idea. Matador can't really hold on to this one either, and yeah, I mean, EZMoney, they pretty much take the side easy, right? And there's really nothing they can do. Logic, what was that shot? That was incredible, actually. Matador will go down as well. Now Lisa, last man standing, surely not. And yeah, this is the case. And yet another round for EZMoney, though.
Push out toward a bit of body blocking there, but to push out toward long. Only be a bit of utility, no more than that. Jump spotting, no information seen at all out on the outskirts of B, so it could allow them to push forward if they want to try and get an early flank on, but as you can see, it's being watched early around here by Logic, as you would probably expect and hope.
Okay. This time around, we see a very slow approach from EZMoney. They're not really doing anything. On the other side, of course, you can see top. They are actually making some movements towards Cat, and they extend as well. And, well, obviously, Logic has spotted them, but it's not going to change too much, I would assume. But it actually makes the rest of the squad go back from a long. So this Cat push actually had some kind of impact, if you wanna say that. But yeah, not too sure why EZMoney decides to slow things down so much. I mean, they definitely had a good run. They definitely still are on a good run. So I don't really know why they take away their own momentum, but they definitely have an idea. Seems like we are going for yet another B hit, and you have Wisdom in Cat once again, making some trouble towards A. And the push is about to happen. Wisdom actually gets 2 towards A. That's not how it's supposed to work, but I guess that's how it is. And well, Lisa is there to, you know, give back the favor, I guess. But that's so good from EZMoney. I mean, they were kind of trying to, you know, fake A, but the A faker kind of got everyone on A, so that's just weird sometimes. But yeah, I guess there's Top doing some more work, trying to save this round from slipping away. Lisa, yet another crazy miss. I have never seen anything like it. The timer is running out. The bomb has to be planted eventually. Pyrex fully open.
Oh,
what is happening?
no time.
The bomb timer is going to 0, and
No
that will be
way.
it, though.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, they did the right thing in the end, to be fair, right? When you're in that 2v2, delay them as much as possible, cause them issues, make that clock a problem, which is very rarely a problem, it feels like, in this game. But, yeah, they managed to get the kill and then hide, bomb on the floor, no chance to plant. Lots of missed shots, though, as you say. Very messy. You'd probably come to expect maybe at a game at a slightly lower tier. There's a bit of a quality difference from what we saw earlier from Swamp, that's for sure.
Yeah, slightly. Again, the double kill from Wisdom still blows my mind. I think that's just a little bit weird. But well, the timer running out is even worse. So it happens. Not the end of the world. It happened twice now today, which I think is usually something like that is very rare because the timer never runs out, right? I mean, honestly, I have seen it at CFS as well. Back then, I think it was Golden V actually. But it's just unfortunate sometimes. Well, it doesn't matter now. We are here. EZMoney leading the charge, and Lisa yet again missing a shot with the TRG. Not very. It's not really working out for him though. Wisdom, on the other hand, this guy came to play. Quick double kill yet again. Stonek now left alone 1 versus 2. And he's surrounded. He doesn't really know it yet, but he will go down eventually. And yes, a quick revenge round here from Top. And obviously the one round before that was a little bit lucky. Of course it happens. But this round here was looking a lot better though.
Yeah, that's starting to grow into the game a little bit. Long control has been allowed. Pyrex playing behind the wood, but now will fall back and change his position to set up utility and go for a swing with his teammates instead. And then they're going to look to creep up. Matador and Inui in the right position. They are kind of focusing elsewhere, so it might leave Matador alone on the site as his utility flies in. He's kind of been isolated right now. He's going to need to deliver a pretty crazy hold, and there we go, only a 1-for-1. There's a good timing on the push there from EZMoney, and this round's working out for them overall. Uzol will get 2, tapping away. Leaves Jennifer last alive. The M14, but even though all 3 players are tagged up, it might not be too easy, but there's a start. But not predicting that flank from Uzol, going all the way around. Immediate push from Uzol there. I think it deserves to be mentioned. As soon as he got that, his penultimate kill of that round, he went all the way through, didn't hold back, didn't hesitate when he knew where the last player was, and made it an unpredictable position for Jennifer to look at. So a guaranteed frag in the side, and easy 4-2.
Kind of gives you the idea that a lot of aggression here from EZMoney will actually be enough. But we'll see. I mean, it worked twice, if I'm not wrong, so why stop there? Why are they slowing it down again, right? So, not too sure. Of course, EZMoney, they have their own game plan. They have an idea how to, you know, be the better team here in the end, but sometimes from the caster POV, it just it leaves me with questions, right? Because again, it worked. Why not do the same thing? Do it as long as it works, right? Because you know, if Top can't really hold on against that kind of pressure, why not do it again? Anyway, we'll see. This time around, a cat push will come into play. Beautiful flash, though. Oh yeah, that was a perfect flash. Playbook. Now the aggression will come to play, and I can't stop mentioning it. Lisa's missing every single shot.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one shot connect. And it's just a little bit weird to watch sometimes. But Jennifer, maybe he has the answer here in window. It seems like the rest of the squad is already falling to the ground. Stonek will go down in the process here, so that's a little bit of a relief. But the rest of EZMoney is still dancing. Logic will find Jennifer here, and yeah, again, this aggression pays out. It works.
Yeah, it's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. You think they're called Jennifer and Lisa because they're fans of Lisa Kudrow, Jennifer Aniston from Friends?
I don't know, but it confuses me. You know.
Do you think? Do you know who I'm on about? Right, I'm sure you do. Everyone knows who I'm on about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. At least you know. At least I'm on the same page as you. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
If I'm not on the same page as anyone else in chat, who cares? You're the one who matters to me, Pandoxon.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Jennifer Aniston might just be the GOAT. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, on to more pressing matters. EZMoney 5-2. Looking to try and take a significant lead into the second half, rather than just what would be a 5-4. Going to make it a bit more convincing.
Yet again, EZMoney will slow things down, and top, yeah, you know, they also don't really seem to do anything again, because we have seen them push towards Cat once, right? And it kind of worked because it made EZMoney, you know, reconsider their game plan or whatever, right? But I mean, look at the map. No one is really moving at all. They have their position. Like, okay, you play, I don't know, you play box room, and whoever plays box room, they don't move. They sit there and okay, I have my position, right? So this is very, very basic Crossfire. But I don't know if that's gonna be enough.
Yeah.
We'll see, though.
We'll see. Indeed. Pyrex trying to tap his way through on long. Nothing doing at the moment. Bomb is actually moving all the way back through spawn with only 20 seconds to go, by the way. So this is going to be a bit of a rush and a bit of a brawl when they go into a B now. I think the sounds should be heard. There we go. It's going to be pretty hard to make your way in when there are two players here. Gyökeres will do a good job at holding on, and Lisa gets a frag for himself eventually. In the end, Gyökeres will get run down. 4 seconds for the plant, by the way. Keep an eye on that clock. And it doesn't even matter. They'll just get completely swept before they can even get anywhere near the site. And Nui with a great hold with 3 kills. They read that one well, did Top Rank.
Yeah, beautiful hold. Finally, some response. I am desperately waiting for that. And right after, this is what I'm saying, right? So they have now won a round, right? It gives them some kind of confidence, and look how they play. Much differently, right? Everyone is kind of moving here and there, and you can already tell one guy is towards Cat, and they will take a peek eventually. And fighting here in mid doors through the smoke. So this is completely different. And it might just give them, you know, some more chances to bring this one back, but it's just so much to do from them here, and we'll see. Pyrex good for 1, Pyrex good for 2, looking for a 3rd, he will find it though, looking for a 4th, Lisa will go down as well, and it's a quick 4K for him though.
Very clean. Yeah, we've actually seen a number of quite cool individual plays in that first half there. That hold from Inui over toward the B side of the map, that triple kill spray down. And Pyrex going crazy. Pyrex is 16 kills on the board, by the way. That's pretty crazy. That's kind of gone slightly unnoticed. Sure, he was on 12 before that, but gaining 16 in a single half is very impressive.
Pyrex. Quick 4K for him, though. Makes it look easy, 16-4, like you said. Yeah, he's definitely showing up. He's definitely pushing his team towards victory here. So, for top, Rank, they just have to find a way to stop Pyrex, because if you stop Pyrex, they will stop 90% of the enemy team, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, of course there's a lot more behind that, but still, if we consider the easy numbers, that's the way it goes. Wisdom will find a quick kill onto Jennifer, and yeah, Wisdom, he decides, okay, I'm just gonna quickly take a peek towards Cat, finds a kill, falls back. And this is exactly what you have to do, right? You have to find info, you have to find anything to play with, fall back, reconsider, and this is just what you have to do, right? Top Matador, he will find a quick double kill, which is absolutely insane. Lisa yet again, missing a shot. I'm kind of bullying, I know, but it's just how it is right now. I mean, honestly, Lisa is just not hitting anything. And it seems like we have one guy suiciding. It's very unfortunate, but hey, huge shoutouts, of course, to Matador. He did, I don't know, what was it, like 3 kills in this one? Maybe a little bit more, actually. Was it a 4K, though? Doesn't matter. Huge impact from this guy. Definitely showing up right now.
Yeah, there you go. That's the final. We would have seen the final kill on the replay there. Pretty slick round from Matador. Annoying for Uzar to go down the way he did. That round probably would have been easy money if that didn't happen, but they might just be hitting straight back anyway. Logic and Pyrex will deal with the long push pretty comfortably. Lisa does hit a pretty good shot there over the top of the boxes on long, and follows up with a second, but they won't be allowed to escape. The aggression is significant, and Jennifer might have full control of the bomb site, but he's got no bomb, I'm afraid.
Jennifer, clutch required. I don't think he has been spotted. Okay, never mind. He has been spotted. So this is going to be a lot more difficult now. But he could play around. There's no need to do that. Okay, sure. Jennifer will go down to Stonek here, so Easy Money is pushing it to the end here. And the scoreline doesn't look too scary just yet, but considering how Top Rank how they are losing rounds, it becomes kinda scary. And this time around, once again, you see Easy Money taking a long control, and it's uncontested, it seems. So yeah, giving up so much map control so early on is kinda bad, but we'll see if Top Rank have an idea about that.
Can they put a stop to Pyrex? More to the point, right? 17 on the board. How many more can they get for the end of this opening map of Black Widow? Eagle Eye to come.
Ugh. It's very quiet, though. It's very, very quiet. No one makes a move just yet. I'm actually very excited for Eagle Eye, though. I am very... okay, I'm not sure what we are going to see, because obviously when it comes to the West League, they 100% practicing for Eagle Eye, on Eagle Eye, for the league. But
yeah,
when it comes to this qualify here, I'm not too sure if they are super aware. I mean, obviously the map hasn't had a lot of, major changes in years, but they are some changes, and they will come into play for sure. But look at this aggression here from Top Rank, finally showing some disrespect, I would almost say. I mean, they're showing confidence, rather. So Stonek now left alone, surely not. I mean, even if he finds a quick double here, it will not be enough to win this round. And we see some response, and it's long overdue, in my opinion, though.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to string too many together. That's the issue, right? So many have always hit back in the round following pretty quickly. That was a good find, though, especially dealing with the flanker top middle. Back in their spawn. Realising that pretty quickly. And, yeah, the gap is 2. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that this could be a close affair still.
The Skylight is still here. I love it.
Yeah.
Not actually doing bad with it too. 8 and 10, of course, not the best score to be in right now, but it's definitely not bad. And also, I have to say, Lisa is also coming back, right? Obviously, it's also sometimes the caster curse, right? Whenever we are on the cam and we're watching Lisa play, and always, you know, the guy is missing his shots. It's just very unfortunate, but well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just unfortunate sometimes, right? But I think he has come back into the play a little bit. 6 and 10 is a little bit better. And of course, there's more required from him, but we'll see. Go Nick. Under the window position here. He's unspotted. He finds 2 though. Wow. Maybe a potential 3rd. He's still alive. Well, Matador trying his best to take him out. He will take him out eventually. And it's Pyrex, of course, with his buddy trying to, you know, take back this bomb site though. And again, you know, it's just so hard to give Lisa credit here. It's, of course, it's not easy, man, but it's like this position. This is the absolute key play. You know, if Lisa's able to find a frag there, this could be top ranks round any time of the day, right?
I mean, that was a crazy round in general, because I don't understand how Stonek stays alive for as long as he did. In the little corner of the stairs on the exit to B. That was pretty crazy that he was able to get 2 kills. But yeah, Lisa missing that critical shot. Uzar B-hopping his way in, putting Lisa off. Not possible. Connect with that one. And that is the immediate hit background I was talking about, where EZMoney just able to not let top rank string 2 in a row. Yeah, and you're right. I mean, Gyokes is stuck with the Scarlight for pretty much the whole game. You can see there him tapping away with it.
Yep.
Hasn't been doing terribly either. But yeah, as I say, it can just come down to personal preference at the end of the day. If you want to handicap yourself, then why not? Go for it, my friend. Inuri and Matador will get completely cleared in middle. They're going to completely collapse on them, giving them no chance to answer back whatsoever. Literally blink your eye, they all peek together, and they all win their duel. And now EZMoney are 1 away from this opening map.
I mean, you can clearly tell the difference between EZMoney GR and, you know, top rank GR. It's completely different. Pyrex,
my God,
almost going for the ace here. Unfortunately, not quite enough. And Lisa showing up here in the end, potentially the end of this matchup here. I mean, finally, we're seeing some quick shots here, and this potential last round could not become more interesting as we speak. I mean, we were like, what, like 30 seconds in, and 5 people have already fallen. So everyone towards A long has been pretty much dropped to the floor. So yeah, I even forgot what I was saying before that. So Lisa now in the clutch, 2 more required. And obviously, honestly, I think this is a very winnable scenario here, unless Lisa takes too much time to go towards A, though.
I don't think he has any idea that he's being double flanked. He still thinks there's 1 defender on the site. Should be a bit of a surprise when Lisa gets caught in the back here. I mean, that smoke is helpful, but it's going to fade. He should get caught. Oh, actually spins around and takes Uzar. There's a chance!
There you go!
And there we go. Look, what do we know? What are we talking about? We're just talking heads here. We're just voices in your heads in chat right now. We don't know what we're talking about. Lisa is back. What an insane clutch, and it keeps them alive in this map. Again, it could be very... I would say there's probably not much time left in the game, because it's going to be very difficult for them to win 3 more in a row to take it further, but still, that's something for Lisa to talk about. Unfortunately, Pyrex's incredible play goes unrewarded in that round.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, we are clueless, right? So, yeah. Hey, no, okay, like, all jokes aside, finally, Lisa stepping up big time. And the question is, like you mentioned, of course, the 4K here from Pyrex goes unrewarded, but the damage has begun for sure. Seems like Pyrex still is on a rampage here, not wasting any time. 23 frags, 24 frags. It is absolutely insane. He still goes for more, and top rank if they give it to him as well. And without Pyrex, this would be a completely different story. But the guy definitely came to play, and well, he's still not dead. He's still fighting, though. Looking for the 25th kill. Finally goes down, and
easy
top
for the
rank.
Scarlight.
Yeah, I mean, they finally show some response, and they give it away for sure. Why? I mean,
That's
why
a
not?
bomb.
It's Wisdom. He's now in the clutch, and it's do or die for top rank, though.
Can the Scarlight win a clutch? Another chance for top rank to try and stay alive in the game, and it looks like Wisdom is trying to play ahead of the curve already, going for the full flank all the way around. Hyoke is still convinced that he's around the site itself, or the standoff. 40 seconds. I think Wisdom might be a little bit too fast in front here, and there we go. Easy reaction, easy win for Wisdom, and a comfortable map 1 for EZMoney. Got a bit crazy at times, but I think Pyrex there is the MVP without a shadow of a doubt. I thought for one moment that these rounds could be going back and forth so much that he could hit 30 kills, but that could have been something remarkable to write home about. But in the end, it was still an incredible game. 25 was it in the end? He ended on. So yeah, he bossed the server there without a shadow of a doubt. And now they're one up away, of course, from that date in that lower bracket final with Supreme Stars. We saw them lose to Swamp earlier. Swamp are in that grand final waiting tomorrow. They'll be keeping a close beady eye on what's going on, of course, over the next couple of games. But for now, over to the boys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Very well spoken. Pyrex, Wisdom, all the boys, I think, played phenomenal. That Pyrex almost finished the game with so much swag, in my opinion. That would have been insane.
Yeah, 4K on A long, just tapping everybody with HK, and then missing on Lisa, who clutched the round, by the way. Yeah, this guy killed him, and then he killed the other two players from EZMoney and got the round, but in the end, 25 kills on Pyrex, that means that you should win the map 100%.
That's massive.
You shouldn't lose.
How many rounds, if you try to divide that, that's like 3 kills a round or something like that, which is insane.
Because it's like you played 16 rounds, you've got like 25 kills. That means like he's almost
8,
almost like 2 kills, almost 2 kills per round. That's huge performance coming out from Pyrex and also from Ozar, because the guy had, I guess, 14 or 15 kills.
This is what we were talking about pre-series 1 as well, is the experience, the consistency, the fortitude that some of these players have. The others who might not have it, it will come in time. Like, don't get me wrong, like, you're not lacking anything, but this comes with players like Wisdom. You told me before this game, Wisdom is one of the oldest veterans in the CrossFire scene. Same thing, I think Pyrex is not as old, but still, this shows he has a read on the strategy. He has a read on the play. He's already in A long at point blank distance. He's like, flash me, I dare you.
Yeah, the guy is just doing so good. Yeah, and as I said, Wisdom is one of the oldest players and oldest veterans on the NA server, and we've seen the clutch from him, how he used more his brain, while he just wrapped around the guy and just got a kill, an easy kill against him. But in the end, EZMoney, as we said, talking about names, experience, years of competitive between the players, still EZMoney just rocks the series. 10-6 win. Okay, it's not the convincing win that we expected. Maybe EZMoney get to 10-4, 10-3, but still, win is a win. That's their own map pick, and we got it.
Yeah, map pick. I really think EZMoney played really well. Top tried their best. I think they had some good moments there. But I think map 2, like we said, is gonna decide it all.
Yeah, Eagle Eye.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Eagle Eye. If EZMoney can find that tempo and rhythm, if they're playing, if they manage to swap to BL side and play as hyper aggressive as they did in map 1, then yeah, they're gonna give top a run for their money.
Yeah, I want to be seeing actually how any region is gonna be playing Eagle Eye, because mostly, as I said, the guys are not having that much scrims or tournaments alive in the regular season, but still the picking Eagle Eye, which is it's not surprising for me, because you wouldn't be picking new max core, new compound, because these are most released maps, and we're talking about maps that released this year. But Eagle Eye, it's been there for a while, and it's just been there for like 2-3 years.
And logically, a coach, right? If a coach sees that one player is uncomfortable with a map, he's not picking it, even if the other four have studied it inside out. So regardless of that, it's not really a risk you'd like to take, maybe in the regular season, but not right now.
No, yeah, because this is the last chance for both teams, as we said. It's the lower bracket matchup. So if you lose, you are out of the tournament and you have no chance to qualify to CFS. So now, EZMoney, they have one win in the series and they're going to be going into Eagle Eye. And as he said, if one guy is not comfortable in one map, then you wouldn't pick it. But if Pyrex is that comfortable in a map, you would instantly pick it because the guy is just killing anybody that comes into his crosshair. Now we can see the scores of everybody, and of course Pyrex 2.67 and Uzar as well. I said he had a very good game. He has like 15 kills or 14 kills, so he was very good as well.
Yeah, I mean, for top rank, it's kind of hard. I do wish both teams the best of luck because they grinded to get to this position and this opportunity to qualify, you know. So at the end of the day, we're here for a show. We're here to have a good time and experience premium CrossFire, and that's what we're receiving right now. And deep down, I wanted to go to game 3, right? Not because I favor a team, but just because I want to. Who knows? You never know. But you're right. Pyrex is one heck of a ordeal to deal with, in a sense, right? Like, he can hold A-Long, he can hold anything on his own. Like, he who's gonna, you don't need someone to rotate. Yeah. You know that if they push him, he's at least gonna get a kill, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when we've seen his KD as well, because we haven't watched him playing on such tournament, but when you watched his KD, I said, this is a guy you guys need to be avoiding, and they were trying to avoid him, but the guy's just not giving him any chance. Yeah. And we've seen it on the B long last round, where he's just trying to go on the B arch and push into the base, get one kill, just get the call, get the other kill, or get the USP, get the other kill, and keep running around the water, just wasting time for your teammates.
Yeah, and Travis highlighted, he's like, Pyrex got a kill, alright, we're chilling now. He should go back, tell his team, like, hold. No, he's peeking, pulling out the USP, ready to go, you know. So this is the kind of inner flame that you want to look for in a player, someone who, as if he's playing a ranked game, right? In a ranked game, if you're having a hot streak or you're doing good, you're top fragger, you're gonna maintain that. You're not even like trying to win anymore, you're trying to beat your own opponents at the scoreboard. We've all been there, right?
Yeah, and the way also the EZMoney played, especially when they played Blacklist in the first half, how they pushed along from Cat and from along was just so good. Watching these guys have some kind of strategies, also executing, throwing flashes, trades. Wisdom is trying to trade his teammates
simultaneously. It's all happening at once.
The entries are doing their job, and the sniper rifle is covering. Wisdom is covering as well, and Pyrex is just unleashing himself from along. So everything went very good for them. Also, they went to B side. Maybe they had some difficulties going to B side because it's hard to push into the pit.
It's a tight spot.
But still, in the end, they tried one time, they lost, they go on again, and they win the fight. So how these guys are adapting EZMoney is actually very good, and this is something that we need to highlight before going to the map too, because the way they adapt is perfectly. So even if top ranked wins 1-2 rounds, so I guess they also have to adapt.
Yeah, hopefully they manage to adapt. Best luck to both teams. Let's jump right to game 2.
All right, back into the game, not wasting any time apparently. Okay, you don't get to see us, you get to see the game, and this is obviously what you're here for. So it is Eagle Eye. Very, very surprising to me. This pick is coming from, was it? I think it was, it was Top Rank. All right, cool. So I'm just leaning back and see. I'm just excited to see what Top Rank has to say on Eagle Eye though.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bounce back a little bit here. As by no means over. Especially on their own map pick. Maybe they've got something up their sleeves for this one. But if Pyrex has anything to say about it, then who knows? Maybe we'll be done in an even quicker fashion. We can go for a peek right now. Is Wisdom pushing down? Uzard's going to get the opening too. Not Jennifer and Lisa. Not the duo. In one spray down. How dare he? Logic will go down to Anui though. So there is a slight response.
Okay. It's a little bit awkward. Pyrex. We'll see. Hey, actually, I'm very excited about Pyrex. If he's able to do that. Awesome. That's gonna down. And that incredible. Seems like he already has an idea. 2 frags in this round, though. And he will get to the fuse as well. You know, everyone wants that XP, so he grabs it. Yeah, EZMoney, they will find the first round, though.
Oh, Yarkes, with the weapon of choice, of course, out-dueling Stonek there in toward the lobby. Uzal will fall back, though, and hold the line for both. Matador tries to push forward aggressively to trade it, but not allowed. Lisa and Anuri will get a couple in response, but as soon as Lisa tries to go for a second pick, Wisdom is there a little bit quicker than he's ready for. And now Anuri is 3 HP, I'm afraid. 1 bullet in the pinky toe is enough to deal with him, and actually still finds 1 more kill. And Logic wasn't exactly full health either, so that was a lot closer than it should have been, that's for sure. But here's another EZMoney round. Just.
Here we go. Round number 3. And EZMoney, they don't stall one bit. They're not wasting it. I like this. Usar, good position. Usually goes checked. So in the West League, you know, you're dead for sure unless you have someone covering you like Stonek does right now. We'll see if they're gonna check him. You would assume so or not. But, well, he has to do something with this position. He can't just sit there and hope they don't check. And this is what I'm saying, right? So they definitely check him. The guy with the Scarlet, of course, takes him out lovely. They will get the advantage in this round. And again, I feel like, okay, this was a good idea, good move. But you have to do something with that spot, right? And if you don't, you eventually go checked. And, well, there's Pyrex trying to, you know, bring back the equal numbers here on this round. And again, Pyrex definitely stepping up for his team, though.
Jennifer and Yarkes will move forward. Logic playing behind the door. Of course, these are very dangerous positions when you're being watched like that and with how wallbangable it can be. And Lisa will not let Logic get away. Back into man advantage for top rank. Jennifer will be able to take Pyrex as well. That's the main threat removed, you would feel. So, 4v2 out of nowhere. Wisdom needs to try and find a way to respond. Jennifer, down.
Indeed. I also just noticed that Wisdom has a Mac 10 as a secondary. That's a first time as well. Okay, sure. I mean, I'm all for it, man. I like to see some, you know, fancy stuff coming our way. I don't think he has used it yet, but nonetheless, doesn't really matter right now. Stonek rushing in. Is he gonna check the corners? He will not. He will go down anyway, and Matador, both kills go to him, and that's a beautiful response here from top rank, finally stepping up as well. This round was looking a lot better than the rounds we saw before, though.
Yeah, as we know, though, stringing them together was a difficult thing on map 1, so I'm gonna find a way to get a streak going. When you're up against these solid players on EZMoney, it might be a little bit too much. We shall see. Yeah, the Mac 10 is it's a bit more like an SMG sort of sidearm, right? Even though it's classed as a pistol.
Yeah,
pretty fast shooting.
So. But I don't think it does a lot of damage, though. I think it's
yeah, like a pea shooter, right?
Yeah.
We will see Wisdom have to use it, and we can then pass judgment from the eye test alone. We shall see.
I mean, he's literally the only one on the server. You can't be serious about this one. I don't know. We'll see. Seems like top rank, they are going for a quick A push. Alright. Started off well, but there's a trade. Stonek will find one. Pyrex, of course. That's an insane shot. And there's the response. Lisa and Jennifer both find one, but again, it goes back and forth all the way. No, Jennifer, last man standing. 17 HP, not ideal. Spotted as well. What is there left to do? Nothing apparently, because, you know, Pyrex just zooms in on the guy and takes him out though.
Yeah, hit straight back again for EZMoney. Pyrex with some good work on the move as well. I think it was actually the player we were watching who got that running headshot. I think it was just Pyrex from a different position after he got the first and got the pistol kill as well. Wisdom goes wandering in there a little bit aimlessly. We'll get punished for it. Matador was keeping an eye on it. Uzar now wants a answer back. He's in a pretty good position now. Past the doorway already. Yoke is not seen or heard in the corner. It's a bit of a standoff.
They're literally next to each other, not knowing what comes next. Lisa, this time around, 3-3, so definitely showing up. That's a beautiful quick scope, almost looking for the second here. Pyrex does a lot of work as well. Look at that guy, that is just incredible. He will go down eventually. The damage has been done for sure. There comes some bullets towards the rest of the squad, but Matador, of course, quick tap onto the head of Uzar, so beautiful response. And yeah, this matchup, I mean, in the beginning it looked like, you know, EZMoney, they have it all figured out, but this is still top ranks map picks, so you would expect them to be a little bit better on it. And this is the case here. I mean, you know, we are pretty close. I mean, yeah, the rounds are not always as close as you would expect, but still, the numbers speak for themselves, right?
Exactly. Oh, Gyakes. The combination with some damage from Matador as well. We'll get that opening. Oh, good clear though. Logic checks the corner. Jennifer was hiding away, but for not much longer. Inui, I can try and wander around to trade, but you've got to deal with two players, actually three really around this position. Pyrex is running into trade, but somehow he gets away from it. That's pretty crazy. Fair play to keep the man advantage there. And now pressure from Matador being put on toward the B side of the map. Plant can actually come through here. With Lisa holding the line for the rotations. Wisdom will go down. Pyrex might find one in return, but it's now a 2v3 retake. There's a clock above their heads.
Not too much time though. Bomb has to be defused. There's a lot to work before they can do that. And seems like Lisa, this time around, quick double. Basically saying, you know, you guys have no idea I'm that good. But yeah, 3-3 is the scoreline, pushing these numbers closer. And, well, this is as close as it gets, I guess. But, yeah, I like what I'm seeing. It's a much different game here from top rank, at least in the last couple of, what, like, maybe 3 rounds. So, EZMoney, on the other hand, they're slowing things down. And they can't just rely on Pyrex doing 90% of the work. That's just not how it works. And there's a lot of presence towards A long. This is very weird. Everyone is kind of all over the place. I mean, you can just look at the map. You can see what I mean, right? So, not too sure what's going on here, but they will eventually figure it out. This is just back and forth all the way, right? So everyone is just, you know, getting some map control, shooting some bullets here and there, and no one really goes down. And we'll see if that comes into play later on. But so far, Lisa goes down, but there's an equal trade, so still anyone's round from here on.
Some maneuvering around, lots of rotations. I'm now gravitating over toward B though. Still 50 seconds to make a decision. There's no real rush here for the top rank push. In comes the rotation now. It's going to be Uzar who's on the scene first. A bit of a lurk in middle coming in for Jennifer. Now it's going to be tough. Noise is being made. He's going to want to call for rotations pretty quickly, and Uzar does well. Playing inside, just about getting away as well to a different position. That's actually wasted a lot of time because the bomb was dropped. 19 seconds. Great shot from Gyökeres. The Scarlight.
Yeah.
Not too light by the looks of things. Pretty heavy. It's doing a lot of damage. Wisdom now in a clutch. 1 versus 2, but will get cleared. And there's another kill for Gyökeres. Alright. They're in the game now, Top Rank.
No, for fun reasons, I have to tell you, there's actually a Scar Heavy in this game too. It's called Scar Heavy.
It's called Scar Heavy. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So there's a Scar Light, there's a Scar Heavy. Huh? Who would have thought? But yeah.
Is the Scar Heavy worse or better?
Hella worse. Anyway, we are rushing towards A. You're not wasting any time. Logic good for 1. The spray is not good enough, but the door's good for 2. The trades are basically equal. 1-man disadvantage, of course, but there's Lisa finally hitting some amazing shot. Quick double. Now 1 versus 1 Pyrex, of course, has to clutch once again for his squad. The bomb has been dropped. Pyrex basically has a good position to be in. The timing is a bit off, though. There's the sound cue. Pyrex now knows the bomb has been picked up. And that's a little bit awkward.
My word.
For the flying until he actually gets it done. That's insane.
I mean, it's funny, right? He could have just swung the angle and just killed him on the stairs, but decides to do it with style points, I suppose. Why not?
Yeah. Seems like he's not even done yet. He picks a quick kill as well. 20 seconds into the round. And yeah, Pyrex. I mean, if you combine all the kills from the first match and this one, I mean, this is outrageous, right? This is absolutely insane, and we are not even done yet. So I'm getting my calculator. You know, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Lots of patience for EZMoney here. Got the opening kill in the round. They're not going to be over-peaking because of that. Retaining the 5v4. And Pyrex will fall back to a different angle and gets himself another one. Stonek will help out toward Anui as well. Finally, Jennifer will get one back toward Uzar, but what can Jennifer and Lisa do? The answer is not too much. They'll get cleared by Pyrex and Stonek, just like that. The half is done with EZMoney with the slim lead.
Slim. It is indeed, yeah. But now that we are on the other side of things, we will see what EZMoney has to say on, on the BL side. And seems like they're not rushing anything just yet. They're just building up, waiting. See what they can find. On the other hand, of course, you have Top Rank basically holding, their positions, not really doing something too risky just yet. I mean, you have Jennifer here in the hotel. Very, very basic position as well. And it seems like this matchup comes to... It's either, okay, we instantly go A, or we wait until a minute before anything happens, right? But this time around, you see EZMoney slowly but surely making their way next to hotel. The timing is a bit off, but Stonek will find the frag. The second just to follow from Logic. That's a beautiful start into this round. You're not wasting too much time, actually. But there's a lot of work ahead of them. Unless, wow. I mean, look at that aggression. That's absolutely incredible. Almost gets one more as well. And what is there left to do, Travis?
I mean, that was crazy. He was so far in there. His pathing was probably the best he could make it. It's the one way you can get your way in and get yourself in that position. Gyökeres is a slight glimmer of hope here, by the way. Wisdom's very low. So Pyrex is going to play safe, as he so should, falling all the way back and in the end getting the kill. That's a nice try from Gyökeres, but not to be. Yeah, I mean, was it Uzar who was charging all the way through there, all the way past any of the sort of early positions that Contract were expecting? That was so very quick and almost got 2. Pretty much 1 3/4 kills. It was more than enough, really.
Lisa, on the other hand, starting off this round with a quick kill onto Pyrex. Beautifully done. The much needed confidence boost in this run. I have to say, Lisa is really stepping it up on Eagle Eye. I have to say it. After all this criticism I gave this guy on map number 1, I have to be a little bit nicer. Rightfully
great,
so.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely stepped it up, so it's beautifully to see that he's actually, you know, doing some more work for his team, so love to see it. This time around as well, you have Logic and Tower. That's a little bit uncommon as well. You don't really see a lot of people, you know, dancing around in the tower position, but it seems like this time around he actually likes to do it once or twice. Anyway, yet again, very slow round. We will wait until a minute before, you know, anything crazy happens, but it seems like EZMoney, they are working their way towards B though.
Oh, Nuri seen on the flank, but still able to get the 1 kill. Sonic will go down, and then Lisa helps out as well. Logic trying to force the issue. Actually, Uzar's there in support, and suddenly 3 kills have come back the other way. Look at their health. Oh my word. They are dragging themselves across the floor right now, walking wounded. So you're going to have to try and maybe play some awkward and unpredictable positions to try and get this round done, because Nuri has a great chance at a 1v2 here. 5 HP on Logic. Definitely less on Uzar. I see 1 or 2 pixels less on that orange bar. But unfortunately, Nuri could get caught in the side, and yeah, not expecting the advanced angle. Fair play. That is an incredible recovery considering their health.
Yeah, and great decision making as well. They actually went for A, you know, they took a longer path, and it worked out. The timing was good on A long as well. So 7 and 4 pretty much deserved here from EZMoney, and it seems like this time they actually want to pressure towards A long a little bit. The Scar comes out, doesn't really do too much work just yet, and it's just a matter of time before EZMoney falls back and regroups towards mid before, you know, it gets too scary, and rightfully so though.
Three rounds away from getting this one in the bag. EZMoney in the bag.
Uh-huh.
Well, timing here for Wisdom could be pretty good. Gyokes is going to go for... Oh, I thought he was going to go for a peek, but still playing inside. At least he was ready, though. That's a good sign that Lisa will hit a shot that's as difficult as that, but Jennifer does get triple swung. Pretty impossible to do much more than that. In comes Matador, but it's so frustrating. He knew there were probably more than 2 players coming his way. He tries to go for a pre-fire, but they just didn't round the corner as quick as he kind of thought they would. I think it's Gyokes last alive, tapped down by Pyrex, and Logic took a Nuri as well. 8-4, Bish Bash Bosh looking comfortable.
The number 1 rule with the HK is never spray. Never spray. I mean, it's just, the spray of this gun is terrible. Terrible, to say the least, but nonetheless, it seems like we are not wasting any time, or let's rush towards A, and this is total domination here. Lisa and Jennifer, of course, last man standing.
Not the black-pink
Lisa,
duo.
beautiful tap onto Uzar with the sniper. I'm telling you, Lisa is on a different game here. Unfortunately, it seems like it might not be good enough in the end, but let's not judge too quickly here. There's 2 kills coming out of top rank. The tower position will not be very helpful here. Just a matter of time before they group. Actually, they're not going to group up together. Okay, they go for a split retake here. 18 seconds on the bomb timer, so they can't really waste too much time. Lisa got for 1, almost a second there. Pyrex will take him out. Now Jennifer will have to clutch the impossible here. There's just no time. There's no time, and Stonek will finish the job.
And the job is almost finished entirely, at least for today, not overall. Of course, we've got a tough one tomorrow against Supreme. In that lower bracket final. Oh my goodness, we're going for a pace again. I wanted to try and say to top rank, look, if it ain't broke, we're not going to fix it. We're going to go straight in and assert our dominance, and just like that, Poor old Jennifer is last alive. Uzar will leap his way in, and there is no facing that. It's EZMoney who will get the win in the bag very comfortably. They have the date in the lower bracket final tomorrow. Swamp waiting in that grand final, of course. And yeah, that is a very clean win.
Indeed, it was very clean in the end. The domination was pretty clear to us, at least, right? So, again, it seems like I feel like, you know, Top Rank, they definitely had a good showing here and there, right? Especially individually, but in the end, it's not enough, and you have to say EZMoney was the way better team, 100% way better, right? But it's just difficult sometimes to, you know, face your enemies like that. But it worked out, so they will have a good time tomorrow, you would hope, right? But Supreme is going to be a tough nut to crack. But guys, this will be it from us too. We will push you to the desk, so see you tomorrow maybe.
Cheers. Thank you, Travis and Pandoxin. Always a pleasure working with the experts, man. I learn from them almost every time I watch any of their hosts or casting. I'm impressed. Anyways, let's jump to the topic. So EZMoney secured the bag literally, and now they actually have a chance to reach the qualifiers.
Yeah,
to qualify, basically.
Yeah, and he played very good, and we mentioned the names that EZMoney have. We mentioned Wisdom, Logic, Uzar, Sonic, and the guy, Pyrex. This man is just unbelievable. He's just killing anybody on his crosshair. Sniper rifle is okay. If you put him on EBR, it's okay. If you give him an HKU, C4Ks, everything just works out very good with this guy. Also, Uzar, I want to mention, because he's kind of maybe not everybody's watching him, because Pyrex is taking all the show, but Uzar also played very good on both games, by the way. He got like 28 or 29 kills both games.
Yeah, it was very entertaining watching this game, you know, because there's some like slight things that the winning team usually does to actually get the win that most of the audience might not understand it. But it's just nice to watch because the execution, the timing, the rotations, everything. Even we're seeing it on the highlights. Everything from A to Z was done near perfection. I'm not going to say perfect and get cocky, no, but it was very well executed by them and well-deserved win. I'm not going to say they stole it away or anything, or it was a matter of luck. But nonetheless, they performed really well. And the two, I think, what should we call them? The two players subs or whatever from EU, I think had an
impact. Yeah, Stonic and Uzar, especially Uzar, had a very good series versus Top Rank, and he got a lot of good kills. He's just a good potential for a player that he can play. Just to let you know as well that Uzar is playing on 150 plus ping. That means that he may be playing on 180, 190 ping, because he's playing on the North American servers. So that's not even his best performance that we are seeing here from him. So shout out for this guy. He played very good. He deserves the show as well. And Pyrex, the guys played very good. And we watched how these guys played Blacklist. Honestly, they surprised me that they play Blacklist very good, because Blacklist usually is the side that needs a lot of practice and scrims and just tournaments to be played and everything. So, but coming here as the underdogs, they still played a very good Blacklist side, and that showed their hard work, and they deserved the win, honestly, with the addition of Pyrex, the guy that almost carried the full series, because I guess he've got like 20 kills in the last game, 25 kills before, so 45 kills in 2 games. That's insane.
Man, I personally love watching Eagle Eye on Blacklist side, because you see how crazy you have to play to actually get a plant down on either side, man. And they managed to do it. You can tell, like, it's not just rotations. It's like every single decision they're making, I wouldn't say life or death, but in a way will impact the outcome of that specific round. And every single member of them was showing up to execute that.
Not only execution, we've seen also clutch rounds, 2v4 from EZMoney, where you was just going to push beside, and then suddenly 3 players die. Only one guy got traded, and then it's 2v4, and Pyrex pulls the sniper, kills 2 instantly, and then kills another guy, make it 2 versus 1, and both of them were 1 HP, and still Pyrex got the kill versus top ranking member, and they got the win. So that shows how good these guys are on clutch situation as well as executions, because after this clutch situation, they got the momentum and got the hype, and the other team is also just is done and dusted, and then you just push aside, fully execution into a side perfectly wise, and they got the rounds and they got the map.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen next for this team and for Supreme, because as you know, there's gonna be another game tomorrow, and we're gonna have to see the outcome of that. But I want to see the set summary soon, because I'm kind of curious. Is there any? I wouldn't call records, but I think any individual personal records, I'd have to go back and fact check later. But I think 45 kills is insane.
Yeah, it's
For
around
one
45.
player.
Yeah, by the way, it's 45 or 44 kills. If it's not 19 kill in the last map,
Yeah.
it's maybe 20, and he got like 25 in the first map.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's definitely 45 kills
Exactly,
on both maps. None of them can do this maybe casually every day, but the guy did it just 2 maps in a row, and he elevated his teamwork, and he just got the win.
Yeah, and I love it because some of these individual
I
players
don't want
can
any
start
tips.
like, you know, reaching their own achievements, not just being part of an organization, but the individual skill level it takes to reach something like 2.86. I've rarely seen that in my small career of hosting, but still nonetheless super impressive. Tough luck for top rank, you know, and Supreme as well. But I honestly,
Lizard played
I have
very
to
good.
say, Swamp and EZMoney, they definitely deserve this shot at the qualifying.
Yeah, Lisa played very good as well from top bracket. Shout out to him. And as we can see, Pyrex is 2.8 KD both maps. This guy. Finally, you are saying someone instead of
Popping off,
famous.
yeah, popping
Yeah,
off.
and instead of famous, now famous is kind of outdated because this guy is here. He's
He's
getting
the
45
new
kills.
guy,
Famous,
yeah.
sorry, but yeah, this guy is the new guy. He's killing with sniper rifle. He's killing with the EBR. He's killing with the HK. He's just doing his basic job, which I cannot believe that he's doing it both maps in a row.
Yeah, and that's what I mean when I say it comes to pressure. So what are you gonna do under pressure? When you're under a lot of pressure and there's so much on the line, individually speaking, are you gonna crack or are you gonna outperform? I would say this is superhuman because it's impressive, you know. It's not just about the kills; it's how the kills were made, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's in a
exactly.
call
Yeah,
where
how you
in
got
your
the
head
kills,
you're like, I'm screwed, I'm dead, right? And then
But then
he
2
wins
kills.
the round and dies, but
Yeah.
wins the round.
Yeah, the round on B side when it was Eagle Eye, they were all so low on the stairs, and the guy was going to just swing kill everybody. Suddenly, Pyrex just kills him, and he kills his teammate in CT.
Split-second
I
decision.
didn't even see the guy on CT, but Pyrex did, and he got
And
the
we
kill.
should
as well.
be able to see this.
Yeah,
It's
how?
crazy.
And he killed him, and then he killed the other guy rotating out of city doors. So now this guy is just from another world, and he's just doing so good so far.
Yeah, if I was Pyrex, I would be going out getting ready to celebrate with my friends or family, to be honest, because this was an achievement for himself. Maybe he's done it before, maybe he's gonna do it again. Nonetheless, he did it in the perfect time and when
Yeah.
his team mostly needed it.
Yeah, because it was the last chance for them. If they lose, they are out. As top ranked are now out, but now these guys have another chance. They're gonna be playing against Supreme Stars. This game is gonna be very good, by the way, because I would love to see how Pyrex is gonna be playing versus higher skilled players. You're talking about Brando, you're talking about other players, LSN. So you want to be seeing him playing versus these guys. You want to be seeing him dropping that much frags. I want to be seeing him also versus famous because I want him to be famous. I want him to get famous down.
Oh, nice. I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen. Anyways, I'd like to jump straight into an interview with our boy Pyrex. Hello, boss man.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear us?
How's everyone doing? Yes.
We're great. You gave us a show, bro.
Yeah.
It's sunny where you are. That's nice. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. You know, the team did amazing. Fairly new team. We made the team, I think, 2 days before the deadline,
Wow.
and it
Clutch.
turned out amazing.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
You're
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah. He did very good. He did very good, and now you're gonna be playing versus Supreme Stars, which has some kind of higher level players, more experienced players. You're gonna be going against LSN, Brando, and some kind of players. So how are you gonna be guys preparing for this game?
We're pretty confident with, the way we are right now. Just gotta keep composure and just keep pushing, pretty much.
Amen to that, man. Amen to that. Is there anything you'd like to say to your family, friends, and fans? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, thanks for the support, everyone. Yeah, Easy money, baby.
I have one more question.
Yeah,
Just
go
last
ahead, go
question.
ahead, go ahead.
What is your main gun? What's the most favorite weapon that you want to be using?
HK, but you know, sometimes I guess hybrid, but my favorite gun is definitely the HK by
Yeah,
far.
because you fragged with HK, EBR, sniper, even more nasty shots. So
God
everything
bless
was working very well today.
Yeah.
And shout out for your aim today. Yeah.
Yes, thank you again,
Thank
Pyrex,
you,
for
and
giving us a
congratulations.
show,
Much
and good
appreciated.
luck with
Congrats, man.
Supreme as well, man. Best of luck. You guys have great potential. Keep it up. Wow, what a humble guy. And
Yeah.
I'm no expert in psychology, right? But the facial expressions show he ain't shook for nothing against Supreme.
Yeah.
He's locked and loaded, ready
He
to
said
go.
we're very confident playing these
Yeah.
guys because, as I said, I want to be watching this guy and his roster as well. He said that they made this roster only 2 days
man. That's
before
crazy.
the deadline. This is some kind of miracle over here because going into the lower bracket grand final and kind of maybe you're going to be playing Swamp Gaming and actually have a chance versus them
To the
because
final,
if you play with the same level of individual skills you're having, also Uzar is kind of backing you up. The guy's also very good, the
Yes,
same, maybe as good as Pyrex, but Pyrex is playing with 10, 20 ping because that's the North American server and Uzar is just an import. He's playing with 150 plus ping. So you're saying that these guys are kind of have a potential to go to the grand finals and play versus Swamp Gaming. Otherwise, Supreme Stars have something else to
Yeah,
say.
that's gonna be one hell of a match, to be honest. In the lower bracket final, Supreme Stars versus EZMoney. They're both contending and fighting at a chance to play against Swamp Gaming and possibly qualify
Fight with the
to
CFS. Exactly. Yeah.
Man, just saying that stressed me out. I want to bite my nails. Like, I'm stressed because if you think about it, right, at the end of the day, it's not just about qualifying. Here it's making a statement because who are they? Either one of them up against? It's Swamp Gaming, who was where in the CFS before. So now you're kind of like, listen, big man, I'm the new blood here. I'm trying to take over. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for that. Is there anything you'd like to add, Mr. Penguin?
Just get us today too.
All right, perfect. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Pandoxon, as well, and Travis. Shout out to you guys. Great show, great hosting. Have a good night.